the only thing we do.
You ain't believing all that.
We just read.
We just read, we just read. This what your book said, don't blame me. We just read, we just read. This what your book said, don't blame me. Hey, here's a challenge for you, open up your book. Can you read it and explain to us how I ain't a crook? I see you can make it pretty, but it's not about the look. Because the words and what they mean is why you always getting cooked. Easy mode, we just read it and relate.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another stream. Happy Wednesday, everybody. I have my good friend in the house with me, Vocab Malone, the underrated urban apologist. What's going on, man?
That's my new name.
That's the
Cab.
new name,
It's Cab the underrated.
Cab the underrated, man. A lot of people don't know, bro. A lot of people don't know what kind of master we have on the streets. Like they don't know, bro. That's why I've been saying it, and I've been seeing it in action again, in person, against Uthman. Reminded me there's freaking levels to this, man. There's levels to this. So welcome. Let everybody know, Vocab, where they can find you. You know, and your handles and your YouTube. What you be doing, man?
My classic channel is at Vocab Malone. That's the classic street apologist channel. Keeping stuff on there, and I'm releasing kind of like what they call B-sides and rarities on there, like beta versions and remixes, basically.
Okay.
So it's active. It still has channel memberships, but I've moved over to God City. Doesn't have as many subs. Could be a bad idea to start a new channel, but I'm tired of my old algorithm. The channel is like a classic channel, and I'm trying to do something a little bit different. So the newer channel is at God City Live, and like the stuff with Uthman, that's a primary place I dropped it with. But usually when people collaborate with me, they use the at Vocab Malone because it has more subs.
At God City?
At God City Live, yeah.
Okay.
That's where all the new stuff is.
The next time you decide to, like, you know, do a new YouTube channel and have a name and all that kind of stuff, make sure you come talk to me first. Okay.
Oh yeah, why is that?
Yeah, I think that if you were going to change stuff, you should have changed maybe the channel now to God City, and your new channel be a fresh Vocab Malone channel, because that's what we all know you at. We ain't nobody gonna connect that to God City.
Yeah, but see, I want to do a channel that's like with collabs and people. We'll see. That's
Vocab Malone. Vocab, you do collabs, you do debates, you do live streams, you do breakdowns.
Collab Malone. Well, you know, things can always be redone, but see, I like God City because it's like urban theologian, and then also Augustine's famous book, City of God.
City of God.
Yep. Does everyone's channel have to be their name? Anyways, go ahead.
Well, it's something that they know you by. I think it's good to keep that going. You don't think so?
I don't know. Huh? My name.
Exactly.
I don't know.
You don't know. Talk to me, man.
I don't even know. Even my name, it's too long. That's why I have people call me Cab now. But people can call me Vocab. But
Vocab is not too. Oh my goodness,
it's too long, man.
I don't even know why I'm promoting this guy.
All right, Sheikh.
Right. How am I coming in, man? Is my volume okay? Everybody's saying that my volume's low. Hold on.
Well, you're.
It's like testing. I see it. It's not like really picking up. Hold on.
I feel like you got too much space above your logo, but what do I know?
Yeah, I don't know. Hello. What in the? I don't know.
Should I be turning myself down? Is that a way to fix this?
No, it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with my own mic, which is not really picking up too well.
Well, do I need to stall while you figure that out?
Yeah. Go ahead and stall while I try to figure this out.
See, everyone, the real truth is I don't even really. I don't love YouTube. I love radio. I want to be where they don't have to see my face. I don't have to get dressed in a kind of certain way. There's no videos, and I'm just talking on the mic like this. So, what do you think about that? You know.
All right. My stuff still ain't coming in. It's still low.
But I'm glad to be here.
I got it turned up all the way on the thing. All right, whatever.
And it looks like I'll be doing more stuff on that channel now. He's got me doing a 10v1 on how Islam treats women. Another 10v1 on Jesus was a Muslim. Another 10v1 against Christ mythers. And then they're going to do a 10v1, 10 Hebrew Israelites versus me.
Really? 10 Hebrew
Yeah.
Israelites?
And I've realized what the trick is with this logic. We got to go with the younger guys. I'm not trying to be funny, but the older guys, when I say older, like the settled guys, they don't want to debate us anymore. When I say us, they don't want to debate anyone who knows too much about their religion. They have
Yeah.
too much to lose, and they're not really warriors. They're like comfortable at this point.
Yeah.
So I realize the trick is guys I'm less familiar with who are younger, who are hungrier. I think they'll be more willing to take me on. So I'm like, all right, let's go find some of these younger guys and leave the old guard behind. Because if they're not willing to debate and defend their positions, I think they're gonna get stale and not as respected anyway. You know?
Yeah. That makes sense.
Mhm.
Makes sense to me. Well, we just we did our episode against Sheikh Uthman, and you absolutely destroyed, grilled, and mollywopped him on your turn. And what I liked about your turn is that you piggybacked off of the earlier things that went on over the earlier contestants, and you used that on the spot, like unplanned, on the spot against Uthman, and he was not ready for. We're gonna get into it, but it's for me. It's out of you and Elijah that were my favorites, because Elijah had a boom boom knockout. It's over in 10 minutes, literally 10 minutes.
Yeah.
He got him to concede. It was over. You hit him with the "Is this you?" And if you ever get a "Is this you?" in a debate, how do you beat that, man? I don't know how you beat that. So
The beautiful thing is I had it right there because I figured he might try to deny he had claimed that. So I don't know if you noticed, I instantly pulled it up because I'm like, these guys don't like to always tell the truth. I'll just put it that way. And so I just went, whoop. He was like quick because I figured this guy's probably gonna lie about teaching this. So I have it literally in the chamber, you know.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna try to restart my stuff because they're saying that my mic is still low and it's not like too good.
Let's just scrap this show. Let's start. Oh no, I'm just kidding.
Let's start something new.
Yeah.
Let me see. I just need to reload my stuff. I don't know what's happening. Maybe if Life could come over real quick and help me out. I don't know, but we'll see. Let me try to reload this stuff.
Oh, I'm just doing the show here, hosting. So I'm on Instagram, but I don't post a lot there. But I do stories on there at Cab Malone, and then Facebook also at Cab Malone, and then every now and then I post on X. But man, there's too many racists on there these days. They're real wild on X.
Back. All right, let's get to a few super chats, and this is what we're gonna do, guys. So we're gonna review a bit of Vocab's session with Uthman, and we're gonna invite the Muslims to come on up and see if they can do better than what Uthman did, because his performance was absolutely amazing. However, you can always do better. And so if you guys think that you can do better than the amazing performance from Uthman, then come on through and see if you can engage with Muhammad being mentioned in the Bible. All right. And let's get some super chats up. We got Zeze in the house who says, by Islamic theology, since I submit to God, I'm a Muslim, right? And we all recently found out you can commit shirk as a Muslim. So does that mean me a good Muslim? By the way, I love you, my brother in Christ. Here's some jizya. Appreciate it, man. But yes, you are a good Muslim if you commit shirk. According to Uthman, you can commit shirk and still be a Muslim, no problem. All right. Can you please review Anita's part at 1 hour and 35 minutes? Did Uthman lie again on the footnote of Hebrews 1:8? We plan to have Anita, actually. She's going to be live later on, right after this, actually, guys. Lady Logic is going to be going live with Anita and with Shayla, and they're going to be doing a review of their session. So you'll be able to get your answers there. Let's see. Logic, it's Charlie. Been a while. Hey, Charlie, what's going on? Wanted to show some love. Still tune in every week, bro. Forever grateful. God bless. Man, God bless you too, Charlie. It's good to hear from you, man. It's dope. Got Jules, thank you so much. Got the W there. Came here to see Uthman's best friend. Hey, there you go. Good to see you guys. Good to see y'all. Oh man, I already got flagged on TikTok, man. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's my camera view or something, but immediately when my live starts on TikTok, I get flagged and they ban my stream. Today's verse, John 14:27. John 14:27. That's a good verse. Let's go ahead and pull it up. Let's go ahead and get the verse. John chapter 14. Here it is. Verse number 27. Good God Almighty. And this is what it says. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. Not as the world gives, do I give to you. Let not your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid. Amen, Lord Jesus. All right, we got another gift. Thank you so much. Thank you for the GOAT trophy. Appreciate it. Just got out of work and was right on time to catch the stream. Good job cooking Sheikh Uthman. It made listening to Uthman's strawmans durable. God bless you. Yeah, God bless you as well. Thanks for the super chat. Love from Kenya. Hey, shout out Kenya. We got Coley in the house who says, did you see that Uthman lied about the NET footnote on Hebrews 1:8? An hour and 35 against Anita. Yes. And we're going to expose that a little bit later. Not in this live, but in Lady Logic's live. Because that's crazy. And he was just lying the entire day on the footnotes, on the commentaries. The man, he just can't get a footnote right, Vocab. Something about footnotes that continues to haunt Uthman, man. I don't know what it is.
The footnotes defeat him. He gets defeated. Yeah, he gets defeated by the foot. It's funny. I don't know if you guys caught one time he called the NIT Bible. He mixed NIV and NET. He called it the Knit Bible because there's an NIV. Yeah,
we are caught you.
There's an NIT. I'm sorry. See, I just did it. There's an NIV and then there's an NET.
It's the NIT Bible, y'all.
Yeah, the NIT Bible. Here in the NIT, McCarthy says.
Hey, Coley, General Creed wants me to tell you that you're on his radar. So be rare, Coley. General Creed is coming for you. You better be ready, man. SOTT says, it appears Conman does not understand the Messiah. He claimed Jesus was a Messiah, not the Messiah. Plus, every time I see Allah speak, Mark 5:9 comes to mind. I think there is something to that. Vocab, the one-man wrecking crew of ISUPK and IUIC.
I appreciate the specificity in that because ISUPK has blacklisted me from being allowed to debate them, and IUIC hit me with a civil injunction for workplace harassment where I'm not allowed to infringe their employees while they're discharging their duties for their employer in the state of Arizona on the street corner. They actually served me at my house with real paperwork. Yeah, IUIC. So I appreciate this. Whoever this is, I like that he specifically brought out the two camps who have went the farthest out of their way to blacklist me from any kind of discussion with any members in any capacity.
Incredible. Wow. They're just like the Mu'minun, then it seems. Went to click on a text notification and accidentally clicked on this as soon as it popped up. And now this is my second time ever catching a live. By the way, the host of the 10v1 was on y'all's heads, low-key. I think you mean the moderator. Yeah, she wasn't playing games, man. I liked her. I liked Sarah. I think she did a great job. I liked her. Let's see.
Sarah, shout out to Raging Tomato.
Mm-hmm. Hashtag no cats. That's right. They just like Allah ask too much of us, and there's no guarantee he'll do anything for us. Not trustworthy. Hey, Vocab Malone, he knows he's with me. You with me, ain't you, Vocab?
My hands tell the story.
The hands tell us he got attacked, viciously attacked for trying to feed and take care of a cat, and the cat brutally attacked Vocab, the underrated.
I wish I could say you're lying, but I'm not. I mean, some pictures are worse than others, but you get a little bit of a sense. I don't know. You can see a little bit of that cut, looking like
I have a whole video. I have all
Oh,
video
yeah.
proof,
Oh, yeah.
guys. I got video proof. I'll show them one day, in case anybody else tries to say something.
It's my stigmata. I bear the marks of Christ on my body.
That's right. Had the opportunity to go against Jake on the Sean Kelly show. Thanks for the great content you give to us, arming us to defend the gospel. Amen. Thank you. Uthman gets confused about footnotes because it isn't the foot of Allah, you see?
You see?
That's understandable. Sheikh Uthman, forever forsaken the kufi for the snapback, representing San Diego over the culture. God bless you. You are a warrior for Jesus. Amen to that. Avery feels towards cats how Muhammad feels towards dogs. He is the reverse Muslim.
How did Muhammad feel about cats? We don't know. Do we?
Don't know. We just
Never heard about
hated
that.
black dogs.
Yeah.
God bless you, Logic and Vocab. Love from St. Kitts in the Caribbean. I know H2O analogies are bad, but there's this thing called the triple point of H2O when it's solid, liquid, and gas at the same time. Thoughts?
I don't like it because I don't see where the distinction is. If you still have to have the distinction. It's like I don't know if that preserves the distinct character. And besides, I hear people talk about that. I don't know if I have the science background to actually see if that's true. Basically, so I say pass.
Just curious, why didn't anyone press the Sheikh about the 12 other occurrences of the word used in Song of Solomon? I get that probably just wasn't everybody's tactic.
Yeah, short version. You can only do so much in so much time. You have to decide, all right, which thing are we going to stick on and all that.
Yeah. All right, and last but not least, before we get started on your part, says is a gathering of Allah's angels called a shindig? This is crazy.
Only if there's music involved, but see, that's a ROM, so I don't know. I feel like you can't have a shindig without music, you know? What is a shindig without music? What's peanut butter without jelly?
What's peanut butter
What's crackers without cheese? What's God without logic?
What's God? Come on.
Now you know you're right.
Yeah, see? All right, so I want to play this part here because this is actually going to be relevant leading into Vocab's part. So this isn't Vocab's part yet, but this is relevant. Watch this, guys.
One that I just had debate with say that this was an error. They actually missed the names. Now, others will give different explanations, but the point there being this could definitely be an accidental. Secondly, it could also be on motive. I don't know. Is that if what we have in front of us does have errors, then I will trust that which I see with no errors compared to the one that has errors. So I will take the Quranic narrative over the biblical about Ishmael and Ishaq, because if I know for sure, including Bible scholars up and down, that Avery brought with him this particular study Bible, and that tells you that there are errors. So I'm not going to trust that over that without errors.
So you guys see, Avery brought this study Bible. This is the first time that I came in and met with Uthman, and I had the ESV John MacArthur study Bible on me. And so ever since, he's been keeping a MacArthur study Bible in his back pocket and saying, see, this says that the Bible has errors. And so this is going to be relevant for Vocab's part, right, Vocab?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My last video I dropped last night takes all this that you're about to play and puts it into a short little 10-minute clip where you can see the parts he says compared to what he says later. So I wrapped it up nice in a bow. I'll drop the link in the live chat.
MashaAllah. All right, let's keep going. Here we go.
Now, having said all of that, the Bible is still,
it helps us grow.
the name Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is clearly mentioned in the Bible.
Right on.
Thank you.
A couple of the sources you had that you used earlier, were we able to turn to that John MacArthur study Bible you had?
Sure.
There's something in 1 Kings 9:1 that I think is relevant. It seemed like when you went there, you said that there was like 700,000
Would you-
scribal errors, I think is what
I
you
did
said
not say that.
when you were there. But you said
no,
it.
that
You
is-
said it
that is-
mentioned
Can
about
I-
it.
Can I
Could
respond to what I said?
If-
Well, I was just going to see if you could read this and then you could comment on it.
I
Okay,
don't
go
know
ahead.
if I
From the
don't know.
source you use in regards to textual corruption and things like that, because I think it'll be helpful. Do you remember what you said though?
I
It was
do.
something about the errors, correct?
Yeah,
Right.
I mean,
Okay.
the difference between 700 and 7,000 is what I was mentioning. Not that there are.
Oh, the
700,000.
chariots, the chariot number. Okay.
Yeah, the chariots.
Okay.
How many people David killed? It's right there. If you want to,
Gotcha.
I got
Okay.
it highlighted. And
All right. Okay. Well, there's something from the MacArthur Study Bible.
Okay.
That's good clarification.
What would you like me to read?
That when it talks about the sources of the Book of the Kings,
Where do you want me to read?
the thing is, I was looking for the page. I got the digital version. I think it's page 856 or so. But I'm going to
Do
read
you want me
from
to
some
look it
of
up
it.
from 856?
Yeah, if I could read from.
I mean, what verse is it under? I can look it up.
It's in the beginning of where it talks about the Chronicles sources. Because here's what
I mean, I'm
MacArthur.
confused. So,
Yeah,
so
what's-
do you want me to give me the verse
Well,
and I can look it up?
Let me Avery. read it to you, and then I'll.
Yeah.
and
I,
I'll
mean,
You
I
pause
don't
it
know
for
what
a
you're
second?
reading off of. Can we look at?
So the beginning of the video is a little bit rough because I'm trying to get lined up digitally what I have physically. But briefly, the part about 700,000, he was unclear with what he originally said. I want to show you the part where he did say that briefly, because if you listen, it's not as clear that he didn't say this idea of 700,000. Let me show you. Let me show you right
Want me
here.
to put it on the screen or no?
Oh well, just watch the
Study
audio.
Bible use.
Sure. Again, because of the fact that we do know that there are scribal errors, mistakes that were made, names, numbers, and this is the MacArthur Study Bible.
That's
Again,
right.
from a Christian authority, I'm not coming at it from a Muslim perspective. It shows that 707,000 scribal error. Secondly, I mean, how many?
Yep.
See that?
Yep.
But he
Yep,
said he
yep.
didn't.
Hmm.
He said he was just referring to chariots, but the way he said it there was it sounded like 700,000 scribal errors.
Yeah.
But and he
Yeah.
said he just
He said he didn't
just
say
so
that.
yeah, what he did say it.
Good stuff, Uthman. Gotta love him, man. He's doing great.
The book?
Well, yeah,
please?
the Chronicle sources. Here's what it says though.
I'm
all
sorry,
the-
I'm sorry,
Hold on.
From the
on.
MacArthur Study Bible.
Is it from that book?
Yeah, but I had the
And we're-
digital.
Not an issue.
What's the
If you want to
part where
look
you
it up
actually
and
show
give
me
it
the
to me,
book?
I'm going to read you what it says. Relatively few scribed. Thus, the original and everything
Go for it.
during the discussion.
Yeah.
But I'm going to read you what it says, and I'll try to find it in your copy. Okay? Maybe
Okay.
I could do it
Go for it.
during the discussion.
I'm literally reading
Although
while I
relatively
turn the
few
page.
scribal
Exactly.
errors have been made in copying scripture, they can be identified and corrected.
Oh.
Thus, the original and inerrant content of the Bible has been preserved.
Oh, that was John MacArthur saying that in that same study Bible.
Yeah, it's the same stuff.
Ain't no way, man. Because see, that's why he don't trust digital. Because what you read, it got to be corrupted, man.
Yeah,
You got to show it to him in the physical book, man. Because that can't exist. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand. Vocab was on a completely different discussion, on a prompt about Muhammad being mentioned in the Bible. And what vocab starts off with is addressing the errors that Uthman makes from his own. He brings these books, right? He brought books and set them on the table, right, vocab?
yeah.
And he's reading from these, like, see, I have them, got the sticky notes and stuff. See,
This isn't me. This isn't me. This is Christian source.
Christian authority. It's not from a Muslim perspective. And what vocab does is he takes Uthman's sources and uses it against him immediately, like showing that, one, you did not read your own sources. You don't know what you're talking about, bro. Cherry picking. Embarrassing, man. Absolutely embarrassing. Ouch. Oh, I was loving it, man. I was over there tickled.
Yeah, I like when they show you in the background.
All right, let's keep going because this is good.
That's from the MacArthur Study Bible that you used to try to show that it had corrupted sources.
Did you want me to
Yeah.
respond or?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you
Yeah.
used it to show corruption, right? Now I'm going to try to find it in here, but it is in here because I have Logos. So I looked it up when you were talking. But go
Okay,
ahead.
I'll concede that one for you. No problem. I thought you were going
I'll concede that. No problem.
That's kind of a big deal.
That's a huge deal. But tell us why, Volker. Why is that a big deal that he's conceding? He's conceding that.
He was looking at one particular footnote and use it to say, well, look, the MacArthur Study Bible that Avery used says the Bible's corrupted. That's basically what he was trying to say. I went to an actual article on this issue that dealt with the topic of variance and whatnot, well, within the context of the Kings and Chronicles sources. And there was a more full discussion about it. And that's that paragraph I read that talked about the Bible's reliability and the source he's using to try to show the Bible's unreliable. Because he kept on saying, like, this is your source, as if MacArthur study Bible notes are saying the Bible is corrupted.
Right.
That's what. And so so my favorite part is when he reads it himself.
Yeah.
Like he reads he reads it himself.
That should be
out
coming
loud.
up, and then you ask. Well, we won't spoil. We'll see what happens there. Here we go.
I'm going to give like a particular verse, which I wanted to look into. But you're saying a general statement. So you're saying MacArthur is saying there are scribal errors.
MacArthur study Bible you use
Yes. So
says that they can be identified and corrected. Do you agree with
sure.
that?
No, I don't.
Okay, but use it as a source to show scribal errors.
Can I speak? If you,
Oh, wait, hold on a second. So you don't agree with your own source. You agree with it when it says there's scribal errors, but you don't agree with the same source when it says that these can be identified and fixed. Huh?
It looks a little bit like he might handle MacArthur the way he handles the Word of God.
The way he handles the Quran. That's
Yeah.
the same way
Well,
he
that's not
handles
the Word
Quran.
of God. I was talking about the Bible, but yeah,
Oh,
sure.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
But look, they even do that to the Quran.
Right.
They
Right.
don't care. They don't care about the Quran. They don't care about the Bible, which is the actual word of God, and they don't care about any text that goes against them. So, woo, wow.
What
Good
is
stuff.
dawah? It's like, what are you defending at that point? It's almost like just, what is dawah then? What are you inviting people to then?
You're inviting people to a picture of Islam. Let's get them in Islam, and then, that's it. We got them. If we can get them in Islam, make Islam look good, sound good, look strong, boom. That's our only job. That's what we're inviting to, a fake sophistry.
Yeah, it seems like they're inviting them to submit to error.
Yes.
Mm.
All right, let's keep going.
you don't mind, I'll let you speak. And when I start speaking,
Yeah,
you
let
start
him
cutting
talk,
me out,
vocab.
right? So again, the fact that there are scribal errors till today, they have not been changed. Even in my Bible right here, I can find those. And scholars will even debate what the actual verse is supposed to say. And that's why NIV and other translations have been rejected by most Christians that I've spoken to that have stuck to the KJV, even when NIV tried to get rid of those scribal errors, saying that no, that these corrections are wrong. So that doesn't make sense. What we can agree on, that there are scribal errors.
It's page 514. I found it.
Thank you.
Oh,
Right there above that box.
Yeah.
But I think it's disingenuous to try to prove the Bible with a corrupted. You're saying it's corrupted, but the very source you use says they can be identified and corrected. So do you agree with your source you brought today?
Again, this is let me answer you one more time.
Do you see where it is in the book too? I just
read
want to
it.
make sure.
I see it.
Okay,
I
that's
see it.
good. So now you trust digital. That's good.
I don't.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are watching a master class. Do you understand? And he's not, what I love about vocab here is that he's not letting him get away. And what also helps is that vocab is used to dealing with guys that have this vibrato, this rhetoric, this trash talk, this, vocab is part of that culture. So putting vocab here against Uthman, oh my God, you were shining, my man. Oh, wow.
The most distracting thing is all you guys laughing in the background. Trying to hit everyone is just, it was funny though.
Yeah, it's funny because with the what do I want to say? The surrounding, I guess, the atmosphere wasn't like this, conservative, reserved, everybody be quiet. Nah, we was reacting, we was laughing, we was, and what, it was a dope atmosphere. It's like watching a game, like watching sports.
Yeah, that made it funny, and I'm glad he brought the sources. It's just like these Hebrew Israelites. They'll buy a book about icons, and they'll do it for one image that's a darkened image, and they'll be like, "Look, it's us," and the whole book is filled with all these Euro images for the most part a lot of times. And it's like you bought that book for one page. Bought that book for, and so Uthman, he bought MacArthur for that one or two footnotes. The thing is, he's still going to use it against Christians, but at least Christians who have seen this know you can't use that, Uthman.
Oh yeah. We're making sure that goes viral because he's going to use that, and that's what these guys do. They get destroyed against people like us, get exposed, but they go out and use the same rhetoric and same arguments against non-suspecting Christians, people who aren't in this field and don't do this. Your everyday Christian who's just walking in the beach. And so those are the ones they can get and make clips of. This is why they don't like the Dawa guys talking to us, man. This is why they're like, don't do it, boycott these guys, don't give the Christians this attention, stay away, let's not do it. Okay, y'all can't help it, man. They love us.
They're just trying to protect their idol, that's all.
All right, let's keep going because this ain't it. This ain't the only part. Can you do me this favor, Vocab, while I'm playing this? Can you get the timestamp for me prior? I think he uses it against Sig, where he brings up James Dunn. Was that the book he brought up?
Yeah. If that's what you're gonna do, check it out. I have this wrapped up. Can I send you a link? And it's the perfect video to play what you're trying to do. All right, let me. I'm gonna send this to you right now because I know what you're trying to do. We go to the spots, but I did this for this one. This one just dropped today, so I'm gonna give this to you, and then you're gonna. It has all the parts you want in it with very little. It doesn't have like the extra stuff here. Just give me a second here. Where did it go? It went right.
Don't worry, guys. We're gonna let you guys. I see Ahmed. I see you, and Almat. I see you. We're gonna let you guys up in a little bit. Just going through this clip a little bit, and then we'll let the guests up.
Okay, here you go. If you play this, it has everything you want that you're working. And anytime you pause it, it'll be perfect. That's what you need. And that just premiered on the channel just a second ago. It's only 5 minutes. It has all the parts. There you go. You got it now. Because it shows where he used it earlier too. So exactly what you're asking, and then it shows the part after. So that's from the horribly named channel, God City Live. Yeah.
Okay.
You got it?
Oh yeah, I got it.
Yeah,
So-
you'll see. You'll
so
see.
we should play this instead and not go through the debate.
Well, no. If you're looking for the James Dunn part, that's what I thought you were saying,
okay.
right?
Yeah,
You're trying to do James Dunn right now, right?
Not right now specifically, but when we get there, yeah.
Oh, because you said find the part where he brings up James Dunn. This whole video is just the James Dunn section. So,
All right, perfect.
well, at least if you play if you're trying to look for just that part, and it shows in the beginning where he goes to James Dunn, the beginning of the video I just gave you. It's like
perfect.
already set up if that's what you're looking for.
That's perfect. All right. Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, so let's continue through this clip, and then we'll play the other one once we cross that bridge.
I still don't. That's why I'm looking.
Good. So now you trust digital. That's good.
I don't. I still don't. That's why I'm looking at the source that you showed me, right? Now, again, to say that McCarthy has an opinion, he has many opinions that I think even you and me might disagree with him on. But the fact that he points out in his study Bible that these errors do exist, that's something that can be identified, that can be verified against manuscripts, not an opinion of MacArthur.
They can be identified and corrected, is what it says. You see where it says corrected?
Once again, it could be corrected, but even those corrections then are rejected by other scholars, just like the NIV corrections were rejected by the don't try to let me finish.
I'm allowed to shake my head, sir.
No, but
I can shake my.
See, he's in over his head here, man. He's in way over his head. You could just see it in the demeanor and the way he's trying to deal with this. He doesn't know. He's caught, man. He is caught. Oh
Yes,
my gosh, he's caught.
Yeah, and he hasn't even read it. When he reads it, that needs to be like a clip of like, hey, we're just playing Uthman's video here for just what he said about the Bible.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's tough.
But what he's talking about, like it's such a big deal. The same thing happened with the Quran. So if that's all he's saying, that there's variant readings, well then, if that's all it takes to say it's not the word of God, then what does he do with this? Yep. What does he do with the fact that the Quran is textual criticism? Every document that is handwritten, that there's more than one of, it's the same document, there's variants in, because there's no two of any ancient document that are exactly 100% alike, even if it's small things. And so since the Bible has so many copies, that's why it has so many variants, most of which are inconsequential, and that's not debated either. And so he can say that, but it's like, man, bro. And see the NIV issues versus over in the KJV, some of that's translation, how you translate things. Same thing with the Quran yet again. Some of it does have to do with which manuscripts are used. But it's interesting, you notice, and I know you're about to play this, he said, well, most of the Christians I talk to stick with the KJV. I love the KJV. In fact, the older I get, maybe you'll experience this one day, you start to like it even more. That's just me. On a certain type of level. But if I'm going to have an academic discussion, I'm going to talk about textual variances, I'm going to talk about accurate translations, I'm going to talk about what's best, and I'm going to talk about manuscripts, then the KJV is not going to do well in those areas because it's so old. Nothing against it, but we just didn't have the manuscripts then. So if we're going to talk about updated manuscripts that we now have access to, then we're going to be pointing to the ESV and the NET and the New American Standard and the Legacy Standard Bible and the Christian Standard Bible, which are all excellent translations and are super, super similar in how they're done. And you're gonna see, okay, look what we got here. The textual criticism science is way more advanced than Quranic textual criticism, and there's a bunch of reasons for that. But one reason is we don't kill our scholars when they disagree with us. Just saying. So we advance the conversation.
Yep. By the way, so a lot's been coming out in regards to the episode, and where there were some fact checks that were put up on the screen during Hay and I's discussion on the shirk parts. Do you remember seeing those?
Yes, and I think they're 100% AI generated.
They're not actually.
Oh, I thought they were all auto.
No, not these. These. So you saw in the room.
I'm talking about the ones in the studio.
Yeah, in the studio. So he had an AI like debate generator going, whether or not the point was established or anything like that, right? However, there were no like fact checks, like, oh, actually this is not true because this and this. It was only just checking whether or not the statement was substantiated or communicated clearly. The fact check here was actually put in after our episode. Uthman went into the studio after, hit up the editors, and told them to put in these particular fact checks.
Wait, how do we know that was Uthman?
Sean said it.
So wait, our video had an Uthmanic recension?
Yes.
What is it with guys named Uthman and doing recensions?
I'm telling you, man.
The video has been Uthmanically rescinded yet again.
Yes.
Nothing could just stay the same with these Uthmans, I tell you. Always rescinding stuff. Hey,
always,
at least the studio didn't get burnt down like that other.
Hey, look, that was gonna be next. That was gonna be next, bro.
I think that's how the digital recension happened. You know, there's this guy named Uthman, and here's what he did. The two variants he didn't agree with. So let's go.
Yeah,
that's wild. So I didn't know all that. Okay, well, okay.
Yeah, I did a video on that today. I actually dropped that a few hours ago. So if you guys want to get some more of the details of those so-called Uthmanic fact checks, you guys could go ahead and watch my video, the recent one that I dropped earlier this morning. And we actually also go through those fact checks, even showing how they're wrong. The fact checks are horrible.
So it wasn't artificial intelligence. It was Dawa intelligence.
It was Dawa intelligence.
Much like government intelligence, a contradiction in terms, just like government organization and jumbo shrimp. Dawa intelligence. All right.
If y'all want the details of the story behind the fact checks, how they got on the screen, and the evidence regarding the fact checks, check out my video that I posted today. All right. Let's keep going, man. Let's get some more into this, man. Shoot, you over here freaking baking. Bacon.
Ahead all day.
Let me finish what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Now,
Go ahead.
The fact that MacArthur feels that he could correct them still stands to the fact that every Bible that we are reading today that I have my hands on is either disputed by other Christians or still contain those errors. So it has not been corrected. Now, when you start
The last line, could you just read that last line on top of the box? The very last line.
Sure.
Thus, where it says
although
thus.
relatively few scribal errors have been made in copying scriptures that can be identified and corrected, Thus, the original content of the Bible has been preserved.
Thank you.
Oh!
Appreciate that.
I do not agree with that statement
Gotcha.
as it's an
That's fine.
opinion.
That's fine.
As
You're allowed
it's
to
an
say
opinion.
that.
Thank
I
you.
respect that.
Wait,
Thank
wait.
But I just want to point out you misused.
Listen to our reaction, guys. I know. Listen to our reaction to that response. Listen to the room. Listen.
Content of the Bible has been preserved.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I do not agree with that statement.
Gotcha.
As
Okay.
it's an
That's fine.
opinion.
That's fine.
As
You're allowed
it's
to
an
say
opinion.
that.
Thank
I
you.
respect that.
Thank you.
But I just want to point out you
We were dying laughing at this because ain't no way, dude. Ain't no way. You coming out here and you're bringing the study, MacArthur, study Bible, Christian source, Christian authority, not me, not a Muslim perspective, Christian authority, not me. And then all of a sudden you don't like this Christian authority no more, huh? You don't like this Christian source no more, man.
Yeah, he doesn't. By the way, just so I want to tell people where. So if you have the MacArthur Study Bible, because I understand in the beginning there was some confusion on the page because I had digital, he had physical. The way to find it, regardless of which version you have, it's in chapter 6. I'm sorry, it's in chapter 9 in the study notes of MacArthur study notes from the book of the introduction he has first, where it says First and Second Chronicles. So it's in that intro. And if you're trying to look for the specific little section, what it's called is the chronicler's sources. The chronicler's sources. Because if you guys read through the book of Chronicles, there's times where he basically mentions sources that we don't have anymore because it's a history. And he says, you can check this out in this source. And so during that part, they talk about those types of things related to textual criticism and whatnot. And that's where it says this statement, although relatively few scribal errors have been made in copying scripture. So notice that, first of all, they can be identified and corrected. And if you notice, he left out a word. Here's what it says. The original inerrant content of the Bible has been preserved. If you listen to his reading, he never says the word inerrant. Now, it could be, and I'm not trying to be funny, that he doesn't know how to pronounce it, or it could just be the devil won't let him. Devil got his tongue. He can't say it.
He can't say the truth.
But listen to when he says it. He does not say inerrant.
Yeah.
But it's in there. If you go to the section in the MacArthur Study Bible, the chronicler's sources.
Wow. I also want to point out this, guys, because I know we're having a good time watching this absolute masterclass, but I want to pay attention to how it is a masterclass. Vocab did not let him off. He did not let him shuffle away. He held him to the fire, guys. And a lot of times when we get into discussions, especially with Dawa guys, with Dawa people, Muslims like this, we tend to, some of us that I see, tend to let them off the hook, be a little too gracious, don't hold them to the fire. No, you hold them down and make them, look, he made them read it. He made them read it out loud. He held him to it. Do you agree with he's saying this is your source, not my, he was bringing up how it's his source, how he kept bringing this up, putting it in his face. This is how you have to treat these people, man. This is how, and this is with anyone. With Hebrew Israelites, Muslims, Jehovah's Witnesses, atheists, this is how you conduct and drive the conversation, okay? You have to have this type of energy, all right? So I hope that's clear, all right? They're saying my mic is low again. I don't know what to do about my microphone. So I can't.
How does someone put Unc Alert in the live chat?
It's a new gift that YouTube has now. Like you could put a gift there, and it's an Unc Alert gift.
Oh, I assume this is in reference to me, right?
Well, no, because they just give the gifts. They've been giving it to me all my streams, man. Ever since YouTube did this update to where they allow these gifts now. Yeah, that's just one of the gifts.
All right. Oh, someone says vocab. What made you fact check him on that? Basically, I knew that he would be misrepresenting MacArthur's view of Scripture. So, since I'm familiar with the work of MacArthur, now I know of something that Uthman didn't know, and I didn't want to get most of the footnotes and the way the MacArthur Study Bible was put together is actually put together by a man named Phil Johnson, who is part of Grace Upon Grace ministry there. And what he does is he he like takes MacArthur's stuff and kind of collates it together. And so Phil Johnson was responsible for a lot of that. And I know Phil Johnson's theology, which is representative of MacArthur's theology when he was alive. And so I knew that he wasn't telling the complete story. So if he's going to try to use MacArthur's study Bible against Christians to try to prove the corruption of the Bible, I knew I could find plenty of places to specifically go after him.
Yeah.
And what I really looked for first, because I like the way he used the word scribal error. That was the word I caught him using, because MacArthur uses that word in the study Bible instead of variant, because variant is slightly a technical term. Scribal error is something that kind of anyone could understand, I think. And so I looked for where the references to scribal error were, and I found the perfect place to have him read to show that he was not representing his source correctly at all. And so I knew that would be helpful to show Christians you don't need to be afraid to check these folks when they try to use our sources against us. And even when they use stuff that's not friendly to us, you should still really check the source, because Dunn is not really an evangelical. MacArthur is. Dunn is a progressive, more scholar. And so when we get to the Dunn part, that's a different thing. But even with Dunn, he's an honest scholar. He tries to be. And so he includes the fact that early Christians did worship Jesus, even though the main element of his book is it was occasional, basically. So that's why I checked him on that too. So I just said, I'm just going to check this guy on the sources he's using, because the other thing is, last thing I'll say on this, I knew some of the other folks in the studio might not have instant access to some of the digital resources that I'm able to get a hold of and have sometimes. I mean, I'm not saying they can't find stuff, but I knew exactly where this stuff was, basically. So I was like, I don't think anyone else can probably do this on the spot. So I'm going to kind of alter my intro and just check them on stuff. And I thought that would be helpful for not just people later, but I was almost thinking of the people in the room, actually, in a way. You know what I mean? And maybe Uthman.
Lord willing.
Uthman too, you know?
Lord willing.
I'm just trying to do my job down here. That's all.
That's it. We have a super chat saying, as an atheist, am I wrong to think it's strange how Muslims always talk about translation, but yet they confirm their book with a book in a different language? Slowly feel you're pulling me to Christ. Praise God. Keep watching.
Uncle Alert.
Keep learning. And let the Lord guide you to the truth, man. Try him out. He's good. Ain't nobody like Christ, man.
Taste and see that the Lord is good.
Yeah, man.
That's good, and that shows the double standard. There's a certain level of denial of reality with some Dawa guys, where it's like, look, things got to get translated, man, and things got to get copied. Like, just have a mature understanding of it. You know, it doesn't have to be points in the debate. But yeah, you're gonna continue on.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's keep going.
Use your sources.
Did
Now,
we
I
make
do
this
not
an
misuse.
authority earlier?
I did not. That was
Yes,
the NET.
he did.
Did we make
It
an-
was
Whoa,
not this.
Whoa. Say, hey, listen, y'all see why I like Sarah? Y'all see why I like Sarah? Sarah, she was like, hold on a second, man. Let's watch this. Let's just watch this through. Let's take it back a little bit, because he started to backtrack, and Sarah was like, hold on.
Earlier?
I respect that.
Thank you.
But I just want to point out you misuse your sources.
Did
Now,
we
I
make
do
this
not
an
misuse.
authority earlier?
I did not. That was
Yes,
the NET.
Wow. Did y'all hear that? She said, didn't you make that a source earlier? And he said, I did not. We all saw the part where he raised it up. Avery brought this to me a long time ago, and this is a Christian authority, not me. This is not my opinion. And even John MacArthur's study Bible says. He used it as a source earlier. Now he's completely backtracking, man. This dude here, you are exposed, dude. You're caught, man. If hey, I'm caught was a picture, this is what it looks like. It'll have his face all on it. My gosh. Let's get the truth. Keep going, Sarah. Jump in there.
What did we make
It was not this. It was the NET
Now
Bible
let's
that
go
we're
to
talking
James
about authority.
Dunn.
No, hold on.
No,
Hold on. Let me finish now, because you can't just roll over me. No.
Hold on.
Well, it already happened. It already happened.
You're not rolling over anyone.
It's too late, big dog.
You can't, but I did. Look at all the smiles in the background.
Woo!
Avery,
Y'all see it?
look,
Look.
even Sarah's laughing. Look, Sarah.
Sarah's laughing. I'm cheesing. You can't see Albie, but Albie's dying laughing. Sig over there cheesing. Abe back there laughing. You can't see Elijah. Elijah's dying back there too. We're all dying laughing at this because this is to see, man. I don't know. This is tough.
You got one of these.
Yes, because I'm just like it's cringe and it's bad and it's so good all at the same time. It's cringe on Uthman's part, so dominant and smooth on your part, and it's even worse when Sarah's like, "Wait, didn't you use that as a source?" Or it's bad when the moderator, a neutral party, is saying, "Wait, hold on, man, you're not being consistent here." Whoo! Wow, tough, man. Hey, Vocab, the underrated urban apologist, man. I'm telling y'all, the most underrated apologist on the net.
I was actually trying to be gracious to him when I said, now let's go to Dunn. Because basically I felt like enough had happened on the MacArthur that I was like, and I knew I wanted to also expose him on Dunn that but he didn't let it go.
Right. Oh, he couldn't.
He's like, so it made it worse because then I got to say more about it. So it didn't help. I don't know why he wanted to do that.
So notice this, guys, but listen to what Vocab said. He said, I felt like we've done enough to expose him on the MacArthur part. So he was ready to move on. That's the only time you move on. You don't move on prior. You do not move on before. You move on once the nail is in the coffin. Then you can go to the next part. Okay? Hyper-focused, unchanging, unmovable until you're done. Okay? Very good, man. Masterclass. Good stuff. Let's see.
Eddie, bro, calm down. Don't flatter yourself.
You made a point. Let him at least.
Thank you.
But I swear you made that an
again.
authority earlier.
No, the issue of authority was the NIT Bible.
NIT Bible.
That knit Bible.
That knit.
That's the one Grandma made.
Got that knit Bible.
Yeah, knit Bible. I made this. It took me 6 months, Junior.
Oh, this is bad.
No.
That's an NET.
It was the scholar thing.
See, look. And when she's talking about the scholar thing, this was with Sig. This was with Sig too. This was with Baal and with Sig. He brought this up, and so Sarah's like, "Wait, no. You lying? No, you did use this as your source. She ain't letting it go either." Let's see. Let's just run that back a little bit.
NIT Bible.
No.
That's an NET.
It was the scholar thing.
He said
No,
scholars.
I mean, you can listen. You
See, now I'm jumping in. I need to know my place. Now I'm jumping over here and repeating what he said. Look, Avery, chill out, Logic. Chill out, man. Goodness gracious, I'm over here too excited. Shut up, Avery. Let everybody else call him out. Everybody see it. Goodness gracious, this is bad. Wow. Okay, let's take a pause here, and let's bring up a guest. Muslims, if you guys can, please demonstrate that you could do better than Uthman. Can you demonstrate that Muhammad is mentioned in the Bible, and be consistent about it? Don't backtrack. Be honest, and that's all we ask for. A good conversation like that. Okay. So Ahmed, you're up, and then I see Ahmed. You're next. Okay. So Ahmed, how you doing?
How's it going?
Pretty good. Welcome to the panel.
Thank you very much. I liked the way that you ended that last stream that you had, where the gentleman, you're explaining to him that the earth was made, and then after that the heavens were made. And as a person born in Islam, I never knew that part about the Quran, that something like that existed. So that's definitely something to bring up with a lot of sheikhs and ulamas and ask them what's going on here. Of course, they'll come up with a very interesting probably explanation for all of that. But I mean, if I I'm not going to get into that. But
okay.
Yeah, I've got a question though. What would be the argument to follow Jesus?
His resurrection. So look, this is what the scripture says. The scripture says that if Jesus was not resurrected, then our faith is in vain. There's no reason to follow Jesus if he wasn't resurrected. And so his resurrection vindicates everything that he said about himself and everything that he did showed that he was worth following, right? He pointed back to the prophets and said that I told you guys that this was going to happen before, right? And this is what the prophets said, that the Christ should suffer and on the third day rise again, and that repentance for the forgiveness of sins should be preached in his name to all nations. So the vindication of Christ rests within his death, burial, and resurrection.
So it's basically the miracle of a person who has said that and then died and then rose from the death.
Rose from the dead.
That would be the reason for us to follow Jesus and pray to him as he's God and so on.
Because in while what he was teaching was that he is worthy of our worship, that he's worthy of our prayer and adoration, of our supplication. What's it called in what's supplication in Arabic in Islam? Dua. Yeah, dua. That's right. We're worthy of his dua. He says in John chapter 14, he says when he goes to the Father, he says, "Ask me anything in my name, and I will do it." Right, and so he says that we can supplicate to him, that we can come to him and pray to him, even while he's in heaven, away. So he directs us to worship and honor and glorify and adore and supplicate to him. And all of that, all of those are claims. Anybody can say that stuff, right? I mean, anybody can claim these wild claims like, hey, you can ask me anything in my name and I'll do it, right? Or honor me the same way that you honor God. Like, I would deserve that same honor. Look on me, and whoever comes to me will never die, and I'll give them eternal life. These are wild claims. And to prove these claims true, he said, I'm going to tell you what, destroy this temple, and in 3 days, I will raise it up. And the scripture says he was talking about the temple of his body, that he was going to resurrect himself from the dead to vindicate everything he said about himself and everything he did.
Yeah. So in my situation, I was born in Dubai, and I went to an all Arabic school, and it was a very Islamic syllabus and everything. But I'm originally from India, and that's where I'm a citizen of India and so on. So now, if we look at the Indian sort of history of mystics or holy men in India. I'm not talking about the present period, but like way back in history and so on. We've had a lot of people who have resurrected, who have died, who have lived for years and years and years, and I mean they attribute that to some sort of mastery over the energy that is flowing in the body. So. So that phenomena for an Indian person is not a very it's miraculous for sure. Not your average Indian is doing that on a daily basis, but it's not something that is super miraculous in that way. I mean, even if we let aside the mythology side of the Indian history and stuff like that, many sort of sadhus and babas and stuff like that who have stayed in sort of in lifeless states, come back, all those kind of things we've seen. So, which is why I was asking you that. When you're saying that it's Jesus said a few things.
Ahmed, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
The Indian mystics you refer to that you believe have been able to do those kind of things from the past. Do any of them?
No, I don't believe it or disbelieve it. We know that is part of our history and culture and so on. Just like as I know Jesus, I mean, I don't believe it or disbelieve it.
Right.
Yeah.
Do they grant to their followers after them the ability also to be risen from the dead eternally?
Yeah, there have been many mystics who've kind of explained the whole technique, how to do it and whatnot, and secret sciences. Of course, there's this whole other history. I'm not expecting you guys to believe in it or something, that Jesus had come to India
went to India.
and went
Yeah,
to
and
India.
I know some of those traditions that he went to India. In
Yeah,
fact, there's
yeah,
some Muslims who believe that. In fact,
yeah,
but
yeah,
would
yeah.
you say
Yeah, I went to
you,
Kashmir and I saw this place where supposedly they say that that's where he is. You know, after he got resurrected, he went and
everybody wants a piece of Jesus, don't they?
yeah. And
But
when I got there, all the Muslims over there got really hassled. They're like, "Why are you here? And are you here to for for the saint, or are you here for Jesus?" When I was
notice
like vague about it, they asked me to pay.
people like to invent traditions about Jesus coming to their place, but people know if Muslims have come to their place or not by if it's conquered. Jesus doesn't go even in the legends. He's not doing that. But the reason I asked that is because with Jesus, he says, if you believe in me, you will have resurrection life. And so following him, what Avery said is exactly right. But it's not just that he says, look, I rose from the dead. Here I am. I'm proving who I am. It's that he gives us that new life. So spiritual life now on this earth, but also a new resurrected body forever that is a gift from him. And the thing is, we know he can do it because he did it. You know what I'm saying? His resurrection proves he also grants us that. So that's why an interesting story happens in the back of John 6. I don't know if you've ever heard this, where Jesus is basically telling people that they must abide in him so he can abide in them. And it's this language that sounds very personal, and he uses the metaphors about eating his body. The idea is that you take in everything who Jesus is. And then some people don't like it. So at the end of John 6, it says that, listen to this. This is funny what it says. From that time, many of his disciples went back and walked with him no more. So a lot of people left because of this teaching. Then Jesus said to the 12, do you also want to go away? But Simon Peter answered him, Lord, to whom shall we go? You have the words of eternal life. And we have come to believe we've come to believe and know that you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. So do you see that not only who Jesus is, but he has the words of eternal life for us? That's why Peter was like, where else would you go? So he's the Messiah, the Christ, the Son of the living God. I don't think any mystic could check those boxes. You know what I'm saying? Muhammad can't check those boxes. The Messiah, the Son of the living God. So we follow Jesus for what he does, but also just who he is. Does that sound attractive to you, who Jesus is?
Yeah, as a Muslim, like I said, as a Muslim, it does. But as a person who's lived through India and gone through, India is psychedelic before psychedelia was ever kind of looked at. They kind of look at life in not linear fashion. I'm talking about like the real core of the understanding. They look at the mind. All these questions that arise from us is, I mean, okay, let's look at it this way. The only thing I'm very sure about 100% is that I'm born one day and I die one day. What happened before I was born, what happens after I die, I'll believe whatever you're saying because it sounds attractive to me, or I believed whatever I was told when I was younger because that was what I was indoctrinated in. But as you grow older, you kind of realize that these are sureties. There's birth and there's death. After that, and then there are many such people. Like as I'm alive, I have all this history of information of people who've said these are the things that is going to happen, and this is why we're legit in the way we're saying it, and all that. All that is existing. And if I just go with just the Abrahamic religions, the Islam, Christianity, and Judaism, then within that, the argument is very strong, one against the other. I'm with you guys. You guys are doing an amazing, phenomenal job to basically, from the time that Ahmed Didat, kind of was like, as you guys said,
Tons by the tons.
as you guys were saying that the Christians at the time were quite gracious, to this very minority group who were, trying to voice out and stuff like that. So, Ahmed Didat and Zakir Naik was steamrolling through all these people. But, well done on you guys that you're giving it back, especially to people like Muhammad Hijab and so on, who's become extremely arrogant and racist. And this is racism and arrogance coming out of a person who's had a lot of arrogance and racism on. So now he's risen above that, but now he's decided to become arrogant. So,
Yeah, it's a
yeah,
shame when that happens, like when the abused become the abusers. Back to something
yeah,
you said, so I'm sure about the life and the death, not sure about the stuff before or after. I don't know
yeah.
if this analogy will track. I'm gonna try my best. Um, in American history, there's George Washington, and when he was young, he was a surveyor. And one thing that he did was explore what was called the Ohio Territory. That was when Ohio and Pennsylvania were actually the frontier of these small little English colonies. You know about English colonies, right? So here we go, and he's exploring it. And this was like uncharted as far as the surveying uh, science went, because that was his initial job as a young man. He comes back, and then there become this need for expeditions into that territory, because what happened is the French started coming and they started building forts on the edge of what was considered British territory. Obviously, it's land people were fighting over, and of course, there's the indigenous peoples. So they take Washington along as what's called an aide de camp to these expeditions and what became the French and Indian War. Why? Because he had been there before. They needed someone who knew the land. Now, where am I going with that? What does that have to do with what we were talking about? If it's true, Jesus rose from the dead. He went to death before, what the Bible calls Sheol, or the grave. I don't mean hell. I mean, Jesus is a human who died and rose again. So if he tells us something about what the afterlife entails, what resurrection really is, I think we can trust him on that, because he's been there, so to speak. And I'm not even factoring in too heavy right now the fact of being the God man, the Logos, the pre-incarnate Christ. I'm just factoring in the fact that this man rose again from the dead, meaning that's a unique authority for someone who rises again, comes back in bodily form. Because if you study the ancient Greeks, they would have these appearances of people who had passed. But the point was to prove the doctrine of what some Greek philosophers held to, which is called the immortality of the soul. Because Greeks would debate about this, and some Greeks thought, yes, the soul is the indestructible part of you that lives forever. And sometimes they would have these sort of visions, but they weren't physical, because the Greeks, influenced by Plato, especially in the era of Neoplatonism, did not believe the body was a good thing to be cherished. The Bible is explicitly different. Jesus comes back fully embodied and then tells us. So I think that's important, because you just don't have anyone else with a biography like that. For example, the story about Jesus traveling to India. Why is it possible? I don't mean that it happened. Why could that legend even exist? You know why? Because after he died, he rose again. Because that legend happens after his death. Do you see what I'm saying? So if the resurrection is true, like Avery said, it really does change everything. And then you can say, I can put my trust in this man. So we're going to die and we won't resurrect until Christ resurrects us, simply because of his power. You don't put your trust in us. You know, you already know that. You're an intelligent guy. I can tell. You know that. I'm talking to, but we're saying put your trust in Christ. He doesn't abuse. He doesn't mistreat. His words are words of eternal life. It's not just that it's good and you want to believe it. It's actually true. And so it makes sense to believe it. And I don't see, like you talked about those ancient mystics, I just don't think they have a biography, anything like that. It's not even close. Jesus will impart to you words of eternal life while you're here, and then will give you a resurrected body forever. And it's not a body that you can then go do a bunch of sin with. Notice even what is heaven about? Heaven is about enjoying God. We don't know exactly what's in heaven, but we know what's not there. It's not just us having a sex and drinking alcohol. It's a heaven based upon enjoying God. That's a unique thing. That means we get to enjoy something better than ourselves. That's hard for us to fathom, because all we know are fellow humans in a way. But God is utterly enjoyable because of his beautiful, perfect character nature. And Jesus displays that on the cross and in his life. So I would just encourage you to really look into Jesus. Read him without any other kind of filters and just read his words. And I think you will fall in love with the person of Jesus and realize this is someone I can dedicate my life to. And that's what a Christian is.
No, I absolutely agree that his life has been beautiful. The words are just extraordinary. There's no doubt about that. But the last few hundreds of years has been a big fight between Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. And because of that, each party tries to bring in the best of the texts, the best of the biography. So then the act of trying to prove a person creates a lot of articles, books, and and things like that. Now, India was never trying to push their religion to the rest of the world. It was just a way of life for them. This is how you live. This is how you die. So again, the mystics and the saints of India have not been documented. But when you do go to these places, you realize there's many of that story. So when Jesus says that he's the Alpha and the Omega, he is the through him you reach God and so on. From an Indian perspective, an Indian person would look at that. This is the what do you say? Okay, there was this one Sufi guy. He said Ana al-Haq. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. Mansur al-Hallaj.
Didn't they kill him?
Yeah, they killed him, exactly, and he didn't come back from the dead. Yeah, but and he killed him. So Mansur al-Hallaj said, "Ana al-Haq." Ana al-Haq means that I am the truth, and I'm the whatever. So the person was embodying the omnipresent. His state of mind becomes that. So
Was it a state of mind, or was it just an erroneous claim by a person?
It could have been either. It could have been either. So, for example, let's say you're abusing me constantly right now, and I'm in that state of like, thank you, brother. I love it that you're doing it. You could say that I'm in an erroneous state. I'm not giving it back to you, or you could say I'm in such a blissed out state that regardless of whatever you're saying to me, I'm just seeing that as an interaction, a beautiful interaction with you.
Yes. So Ahmed, there's a reality that we are in, right? And so people can claim things and say things about themselves, and it's not reality. It's not true. Like if you have a man that's claiming in the absolute sense that he is the truth, I am al-Haq, that's a divine claim, which is why the people killed him. That's why they put him to death, because he was committing blasphemy, right? This isn't like Jesus, who claims all of these things. He then dies, gives his life, and then raises himself back from the dead, and then goes and interacts with those who saw him die, right, as evidence that he actually rose from the dead, right? This isn't like mystical or some type of like fairy tale, but it's historical. Like, this is historically documented. So we're talking about something that is grounded in history, not necessarily just mystical themes.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
So yeah, it does. So if let's say this year or in the next few years or something, a lot of new evidence gets unearthed that somebody I don't know, in New Zealand or Maui or Pacific Islands or something, very well documented that this person died and then was resurrected and then said certain messages while he was in that state, before death and after death. And it's become well documented. Just a hypothetical situation. I'm not saying something like this is there, or so if something like that happens, then what happens to our faith with Jesus then?
There's let's just say that happened. It doesn't take away what Jesus did.
Okay, let me just say that again for Brother Avery. Brother Avery was saying that this is a person who, in our reality, with his body and mind, explained whatever he explained, died, and then came back to reality, right? He came back into our reality, and it is documented very well. And so because of that, we've decided we're following this person, because the beautiful words that he said, the claim that he made, and then how he came back, and that's amazing. Now, hypothetically, if there is another person who does that, and it has come out that it's well documented, historical, it's just did not get unearthed for all this time. If it does, hypothetically, it's a hypothetical situation, then what would we do with our faith with Jesus?
Would this person be virgin born, the long-awaited Messiah of the Old Testament prophecies, who's sinless and died for the sins of the world? You know, you're saying no, but
hypothetically.
I'm just saying you're taking kind of the bare minimum thing of this person did this, but Christ has a whole resume that's unmatchable. And it's interesting that I know a hot guy, right, who's after Christ, of course. It seems the reason he got executed is because he claimed to be the truth, which authorities took as a sort of a divine prerogative claim. But Jesus, years before, now his followers understand it to be the annihilation of ego. But Jesus, years before, John 14:6 says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Jesus literally claimed that. Now, how is it that a person could be the truth? That's an interesting question. So let's think about that. First of all, that requires there's a source of objective truth. Now, on renderings that are polytheistic or where there's no personal deity, I believe that undermines the possibility for objective truth. Number one, because you don't have a God who is sort of the creator of facts, for lack of a better word. Because where do those things hang? Those unalterable realities that are true no matter what. Where do they come from? If there's a God of truth, he literally creates the facts. They flow out of his character. That's why they don't contradict. Then you have a place in which truth is possible. I don't see how you have that in a polytheistic or a rendering of reality that is sort of pantheistic or something like that. I don't think it makes way for the possibility of true knowledge, or that means you can't have true truth. So the person who's saying that, what worldview are they flowing out of? Now, it would seem like they would be saying Allah, they would be saying, but I would say that Allah is a copycat of Yahweh, a later God, and he's simply a copycat in so many ways. But the copycat is not as good as the original. And so Jesus comes associated with the one true God of Israel, prophesied, says, I am not just the truth, but I am the way, the truth, the life. And then after that, he says this, no one comes to the Father but by me. So that's why I said, do they have Jesus' resume? And it's not just what Jesus says, it's who he is. So if he's saying the way, he's saying he's the one way to God. If he's saying he's a truth, he's saying that what he says is always true. And that's at the bare minimum. He's actually saying more of that. And when he says life, it goes back to Avery's initial point. He's saying that he's the resurrection life. I just don't see how we're going to have anyone match that. And let's just say the person did what you said. This still doesn't take away Jesus' resume, does it? It wouldn't negate what Jesus has already done. And that's why Hebrews 1 is important. Hebrews 1 starts off and says, in the past, God has spoken to us through prophets, but now in these final days, he's spoken us through his son. That's how he's spoken to us. It's like the climax of Revelation. Jesus is the final. That's why we never accepted Muhammad. It would be a huge retrograde status to have the Son of God come, and then now we get just a random prophet who has. It doesn't make sense. Why are we going backwards here? And so Jesus is the climax of redemptive revelation. And so the utter uniqueness of Jesus, I think, is a good reason to want to follow him, because there is just no one like him. You know, there's just no one like that. And Ahmed, who would you say that you follow? Would you consider yourself a faithful Muslim?
No, I wouldn't. I mean, I've seen enough of God Logic's video that.
What do you believe there is a God? Do you believe there is a God that exists? Who is?
So, you know, what happened with me was that for about 4 years, I kind of took off from like mainstream work and Islam and everything, and just went into psychedelics and art and, you know, things like that. And but, you know, the body took a real beating because of all that abuse and so on.
Too much ayahuasca?
Too much ayahuasca.
Go ahead.
Ayahuasca. But I would say, you know, the reason for all that ayahuasca and all that is basically to dig deeper into my own sort of Indian tradition, which is quite rich and very fascinating in that way. And I'd love to invite you guys, even just like as a as an academic way to look at it, like, you know, how you guys have done a deep dive into Islam, and, you know, just to kind of be able to refute some of those points and so on so very well. Same way, I think I'd love to invite you guys to kind of have a look at the Indian philosophy. Again, holding on very strong to your faith, but just seeing what's being discussed. So after all that ayahuasca, I met this masseuse, you know, who's gonna give me massages and so on. Mm-hmm. And while he was massaging me, I wanted to tell him,
work out the remaining acid in your lower back. Is that
Exactly.
okay? Yeah.
Exactly. So while that was going on, I wanted to show off to this guy, all my imaginative powers and all the things that I've seen in these ayahuasca trips and so on. I started talking to this guy, and he then added on top of that, like extra, on top of that, more, way more stronger acid than I was. And I was like, what are you smoking, brother? And he said, I don't. I'm a Buddhist, and I basically. So the Buddhists basically did a lot of. After they adopted Buddhism in Tibet as a religion for them, they used to follow something called Bon religion, and then they adopted the Buddhism. When they adopted Buddhism, one of the things was the meditation, sitting in silence and going deeper. So they would sit in silence for long hours, like 8 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours, and so on, in silence in one place. So what they did was they were able to see what all the mind was producing, because they had nothing else to deal with except what the mind was coming their way. So they kind of, the one thing that the Buddhist monk who
Are you a
was
Buddhist?
a message. I'm not. I'm not. I mean,
So-
I'm. Yeah. So yeah, I'll just.
So it sounds
say
like you're
what-
just exploring sort of wisdom traditions and mysticism. It sounds like, and maybe you're interested in sort of like sort of your sort of ethnic religions tied to your ethnic background, but it doesn't sound like you have a firm grasp on like saying, well, this is true. So perhaps you're open right now. I don't know if God Logic, you want to say a final thing, or we should keep on, because I think it's good you're open.
Yeah.
I think it's good you're open, and but because it sounds like you're on a journey. But
Yeah.
I hope it ends with Jesus.
we have other guests I'm trying to get to. So
All right. Thanks,
it was
brother,
nice
for
talking to
taking
you,
me in.
man.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it was nice
And,
meeting you.
I mean, maybe the last thing I can say, two things was, one is, I look at, for example, let's say two ants interacting with each other, and they've got a belief system and they're talking to each other. I'm like, this is just an ant, and that's their whole world. And the last point is what the Buddhist monk asked me was, how do you know that you're not in a dream right now? And I couldn't answer that. So yeah, so that's made me think a lot. That's it.
Okay.
Because
Thanks,
there's no good reason to believe that we're in a dream. So that's where you get into, I think, sophistry. How do you know? Because there's no good convincing for it. So a lot of this stuff ends up basically in just mind trips, but without any real destination, and it's not going to improve your life ultimately. And the two ants is interesting, but that's assuming something. That's just two creatures talking to each other, right? But Ahmed,
just like
how did
me,
those?
I'm a
How did
creature.
those? Yeah, but how did those ants get there? What if the creator of the ants came down and talked to them in the form of an ant? That's Philippians 2. That's what happened.
Thanks, guys. Thanks
God
very
bless.
much for the time. Have a good one.
Peace.
So now we've talked about ants and unks.
And unks. Almat, how you doing? You're muted.
I'm not.
Can't hear you. You're muted.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes, are you a Muslim?
Yeah. I'm gonna take 30 seconds of your time. I sent a couple of super chats in the past about your mic. I noticed that you're getting low mic because you got the newer mic, the Shure SM7B.
Yeah.
Because it connects through the XLR. Do you have a cloud lifter?
No.
Yeah, it's because of that. You need to
Okay.
get the cloud lifter, and then your mic will be much better. I sent a couple of super chats in the past, but because you're getting so many, I guess you're not reaching that super chat specifically. But if you get the cloud lifter, your voice is gonna be much better. Because
The cloud lifter. Is it specific for the Shure mic or?
Yep. Just if you go to Amazon, cloud lifter for it's a single cloud lifter, but if you're gonna get double cloud lifter, in case if you're gonna get the second like this microphone, because your previous microphone used to be connected through USB-C.
Yeah.
Now it's connected through XLR, which makes the sound much like the lows are richer and it's much cleaner, but you need the cloud lifter because a lot of musicians use the same mic that you're using and podcasters, and you need, before your receiver to your computer, you need that cloud lifter. and your mic is gonna be much better and it's gonna be cleaner because as of now, vocab is sounding kind of loud, and his voice, like for example, if he's like yelling out or reacting, his voice kind of clips, and you're very quiet. So that's why a lot of people are complaining. But if you get a cloud lifter, it's gonna solve the issue.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
looking at one right now. It's like
It's like a blue
129 blue. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay.
I didn't want to take up your time because I sent a couple of super chats in the past, but I guess you didn't reach those things. And
No, thank you.
I'm a former Muslim, and you're the huge part of me becoming a Christian. And
Wow.
I can't wait to join you on your next like a former
The
Christians
ex-Muslim?
or
Yeah.
ex-Muslims.
Okay.
I'm so thrilled. Keep going, brother. God bless you. The last one, I was just dying watching. It's I'm like working. I'm in the real estate and development. I'm like working back and forth. I'm like just smile all over my face. I'm like watching. I'm like yelling like and my coworkers like, are you crazy? What are you listening? I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, just you don't understand. It's just crazy. But
Let me
yeah,
ask you this
keep
really
going.
quick. Is it so
Yeah.
I see a few of them. So there's a CL1 and then there's CL2. Should I get the
So
CL1 or?
CL1, because you have one mic as of now, like this, you can use the CL1. The CL2, you get it in case if you upgrade the secondary mic that you have for your like wife or
Yeah.
somebody coming in.
Yeah.
If you upgrade that mic to the same that you have the main one, which is
Yeah.
much richer, because I have like a audio engineering background in my like a career in the past.
Yeah.
In case if you get that, then CL2 makes kind of sense because you can connect two microphones through CL2 to one computer. Makes
Sounds
sense?
good. Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds
But
good.
if you're like, okay, in maybe down the path, like I'm gonna upgrade that too, then CL2 kind of makes sense because you're gonna get like you will save, I don't know, like $50 or $70 or $100,
Yeah,
depending.
for
Yeah.
sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Cause
you came here and saved me, man.
yeah, I've been trying. I sent like a couple of like $30, $40 super chats because it's like 250 characters, I guess. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, God Logic is not receiving it. Let me just join. Because I've been driving, I'm listening. I'm like, let me just get in and explain it just quickly and, just get it out of the way so that you
For
won't be having
sure.
any issues.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you,
Yeah.
Ahmed.
Yeah.
bless
God
you. I
bless.
can't wait to talk to you again, man. See your testimony.
Yeah. 100%. I'll join vocab. Nice to meeting you. Yeah. You guys
Good to
are
meet you,
killing it.
Ahmad.
Keep going. Yeah. Bye.
For sure.
In the meantime, I'll turn down my mic a little bit. How's that sound, audience? Are we a little more equal?
You're fine. It's just if I'm low for the time being, it is what it is. Next week my quality should be back up. Thanks to Almat. Appreciate you, big dog. Man, I love the God Logic community. All right, let's see here. Let's bring up Abdullah. Abdullah, how you doing?
I'm good.
Awesome. You've been here before, right, Abdullah? We spoke a few times, right?
Yeah, but it was like lagging yesterday.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay, well, can you do better than Uthman, man? Can you demonstrate that Muhammad's in the Bible?
Yeah, well, I was going to like, I was going to get to that, but like, I have like a question for you.
You're just gonna get to that?
Yeah.
So you're gonna put my topic on the side for your topic?
No, just like one question.
That's usually how it is. It's the one question that's off the topic, and then,
Yeah, so I saw like your video with Sheikh Uthman and like the fact checks that he was putting.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to say to you, when are you gonna debate the Orthodox Muslim?
Wait, what did that have to do with the fact checks?
No, because like you've been saying like to be honest, I think Sheikh Uthman did like pretty well in that debate. But I just wanted to know like when are you gonna debate the Orthodox Muslim?
I'm still confused. I'm confused on why you brought up the fact checks, and then linked it with.
No, because like your latest
Slaviano.
video was Your latest video was about the fact checks, right? You were
Oh,
going
you
into
see,
like the fact checks and how Uthman came in and like he put them up in the video, and
yeah,
like you were
yeah,
saying that like you
that he
have the true
lied.
religion and like. So I just wanted to say like I feel like why don't you debate the Libyano, man?
Hey, Abdullah, can
you
I
don't
ask you
think
something real quick though?
hold on,
Can I ask you something?
hold on, Cap,
If
hold on, hold on.
Uthman did well, why do you want him
Yeah,
to debate? Why
that's
do you want him to meet this
exactly what I
other
was about
guy?
to ask him. That's
Yeah,
exactly what I was
what did
about
you
to
say?
ask him.
We were both want to know if Uthman did so well, why do you immediately want him to debate this other guy? Maybe you think he didn't do so well?
No, but like I feel like obviously the Muslims didn't want you to debate Sheikh Uthman, but you
Why?
did.
Why not, Abdullah?
Now to be honest, like I really don't know. Like I just heard about it, but like, bro, why don't you debate like Orthodox Muslim, bro?
Well, I'm still confused. Why would I debate Orthodox Muslim if Uthman did well? Why would I go to someone else?
Well,
Shouldn't I
no,
want
like
to? Shouldn't I want to get back on Uthman?
yeah, like he did well, but if you want to get destroyed, talk to Libyano.
So Uthman didn't destroy me.
I mean, like he did destroy you, but if you want to get annihilated, talk to Libyano.
So Uthman didn't annihilate me. Is that right?
Yeah, but he destroyed you.
How did he destroy me?
Well, you just kept on. You basically kept on saying like he was a mushrik and he was committing shirk,
Did
and
he?
like
Was I right or was I
I mean,
wrong?
I think he didn't mean to say that because he was saying if it was unintentional, he can't do it.
But he did it intentionally. He didn't
No,
do
but
it on
like when he said
accident.
like when you
He
asked
wasn't
him, can
ignorant.
you commit shirk, and like he
Mhm.
said yes, like I think he meant to like accidentally you can. Like I don't think he was thinking, oh
no.
yeah, if you were like
Well,
disbelief.
no. So I said, can you commit shirk and still be a Muslim? Right? And he said yes.
Yeah, but I don't think he meant to like purposefully.
Right. So he gave two criteria. He says if you are ignorant, right? If you're
Yeah,
ignorant, or if you are forced, like it's against your will,
yeah,
right? But for
yeah,
Uthman, is Uthman knowledgeable?
yeah.
Right? He's knowledgeable. And I didn't have a pew pew to his head, right? I didn't force him to say what he was saying, right?
No, you asked him, can you commit shirk? And then he said it
And still be a
yes,
Muslim.
in like an accidental way. Like, do you know,
No,
like there's the,
no, that's not what happened, brother. I'm telling you what happened. Like I was there. I asked because he committed shirk by saying that the names of Allah and attributes of Allah can be attributed to humans. So then that's what I said. Okay, yeah, you just committed shirk. Because you would agree that applying names and attributes that are unique to Allah to creatures, that's shirk, right?
I think for the most part, yes, but it depends on the context. Like you were saying that Allah calls himself the first and the last, and you're saying in Revelations, Jesus calls himself the first and the last, but that's a category error. It's not the same context.
Okay, so just to be clear, because I'm confused. So if there is there a way in which the names and attributes of Allah can be shared with a creature unqualified and it's not shirk?
It depends on the context. So like in Surah 12, the governor of Egypt is called Al-Aziz, and I know you said like the tafsirs,
It's
like they
qualified.
mentioned, yeah, I know, but like in the Quran, it's not qualified. It just
Yes,
calls
it
him
is,
Al-Aziz.
because it's talking about the Aziz of Egypt. That's the
No,
context.
it doesn't say of Egypt. It doesn't say
So
that.
who is it talking about?
It's talking about the Egyptian governor.
No,
But it doesn't mention that. The tafsirs mention that.
So the Quran doesn't mention who it's talking about in its context?
No, but it doesn't say like Al-Aziz of Egypt. It just says Al-Aziz. He went to Al-Aziz.
Does it mention that it's talking about an Egyptian ruler in the context?
Yeah. But it doesn't like say the Al-Aziz of Egypt.
That's
That's
my
the point.
point. It doesn't have to say Al-Aziz of Egypt if it already made it contextually clear that it's talking about the governor of Egypt. So it doesn't have to
Yeah.
repeat that. You get what I'm saying? In
Yeah,
context, it's
but I'm
already
just saying,
clear it's qualified.
I know, but like even let's grant that. Let's grant if you can't call Allah's names or you can't use Allah's names to any other creature. What you
Okay.
did is a
What do you mean?
category error.
Okay, but what do you mean grant? It's either that's what Is that Islamic theology or not? Like, I'm confused now. All of a sudden, when it's funny, when a Dawa guy says something, Muslims will leave their religion and follow the Dawa guy. This is insane. Is it shirk, bro, to attribute the names of Allah and attributes that are unique to Allah to creatures unqualified? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. And Uthman did that. Uthman attributed the names of Allah to creatures, said that
Okay, but how-
Muhammad, he even said that Muhammad could be Al-Rahim. He said that somebody could be, I could be Al-Wadud. That's what he said. So he committed shirk. So I was right.
Okay, but how did you prove Jesus is God in the Bible?
Wait, we're doing something new here. But Abdullah, if Uthman did so well, why are you coming in here to explain him?
No, I'm just saying, like, you know, a lot of people would say Orthodox Muslim is the best debater, so why don't you, like, get rid of him and just finish him off?
I heard Uthman was the best.
No, no one says that.
No?
Man,
I've
you
never heard a
Muslims,
Muslim say Uthman is the best.
brother, you Muslims abandon your heroes and champions so fast. I have
No,
seen it come. No,
but
I'm
I
serious.
never said Uthman is the best. I've never said that. I've never heard one Muslim say Uthman is the best.
I've just seen it time and time again. Like whoever's the flavor of the month, people rally around, and the second there's a misstep, then they drop him. If the Orthodox
people
Muslim,
wanted, like,
if the
people
Orthodox
wanted us-
Muslim debates enough knowledgeable Christians, I guarantee you guys are going to drop him too, because he'll get dropped in those debates.
No, he already destroyed Avery on two
He
topics
has.
in Christianity.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He destroyed me on Jesus being Yahweh. Absolutely.
Yeah, according to the New Testament.
Before we get to, yeah, according to the New Testament, and that was the debate. The debate was, is Jesus the Most
He
High
said
God in
in
the
a-
New Testament? And
Said
he said
in the
yes,
lowest sense.
in
He
a
said that
sense.
God the Father was
So
higher
yeah,
than him.
he's the Most High God in a sense. Nice. He lost
No,
the
he said
debate.
that God the Father was higher than
Hold
him.
on, just Abdullah, just really quick, because I just want to make sure we finish the point here. So I was correct in my discussion with Uthman that he committed shirk, right?
No, I don't think he meant it purposefully, no.
Okay, so you're saying that Uthman ignorantly committed shirk, is that right?
No, I just don't think you understood him well.
Okay, so it's either you can't say yes and no, yes, no, yes. You got to pick one, bro. Did Uthman commit shirk accidentally, or did he commit shirk on purpose? Which one is it?
No, when you asked him, he didn't do it. No, he just didn't commit shirk at all.
He didn't commit shirk at all. So
No.
so you already agreed that if you apply the names and attributes of Allah to a creature, that's shirk. You agreed with that earlier. So when
Yeah.
Uthman did that and said Muhammad could be Al-Rahim, that's shirk, right?
Yeah, but if he knew what he was taught, if he was ignorant, no.
No, it's still shirk regardless, but you get a pass if you're ignorant. You don't get a pass if you do it on purpose, knowingly. So Uthman committed shirk when he said that Muhammad can be Al-Rahim. Now, here's my question to you. Did Uthman make that statement in ignorance, or was he knowledgeable when he made that statement?
Probably out of ignorance. Or maybe he just got caught up in the debate.
Right. So Uthman, Sheikh Uthman, man of knowledge, Uthman, scholar, teacher, Uthman, ignorantly committed shirk. And so when I said, man, you just committed shirk, and he rejected that, he became a mushrik unknowingly, but he rejected that. He ignorantly committed shirk, not knowingly. So I knew better than Uthman in that moment. I was correct. So then my question is, how did he destroy me if he's committing shirk ignorantly and I was correct about him committing shirk?
He destroyed you because in the end you're arguing whether Jesus was God in the Bible and you didn't prove your point.
Okay. So how did he refute my point?
Well, it doesn't matter if he didn't refute your point because you didn't beat him. Like, you didn't prove your point.
But you told me, look, there's a difference in saying, Abdullah, well, Sheikh Uthman, you didn't win against Sheikh Uthman because you didn't prove your point. He didn't beat you either because he didn't refute you. But you didn't say that. You said that he destroyed me, which means that you're giving him the W, meaning he refuted me. He destroyed me. So
no, like I
how?
wouldn't say like no, like if I said annihilated, like he would absolutely destroy you. But when he destroys you, it just means you didn't win.
Oh, so he didn't win and I didn't win either. Is that right?
But the topic was Jesus God in the Bible, and you didn't prove your point.
Did he refute my point?
No, because you didn't get into any substance.
So he didn't win, nor did I win, huh?
Yeah.
So I wasn't. So could this count as I destroyed Uthman too? Then? since
Yeah, because
he
when he
didn't
asked
beat
you
me,
about the Wabbat and Takfir, you couldn't answer because you don't know anything about Takfir.
right? So did I destroy him too? We destroyed each other.
No, he destroyed you with rhetoric.
But I'm confused. You said that he destroyed me by me not winning, but you
Yeah.
also said that he didn't win. So by that
He
logic,
destroyed- I'll tell you.
wouldn't that mean
He
that I destroyed him
He destroyed you because he had better rhetoric.
by committing shirk accidentally? Okay.
No, I
You-
said
you think-
overall
you-
because when he
Yeah,
asked
yeah,
you
you-
about the
you-
Wabbat and Takfir, you
You
couldn't
think
answer.
you
wait,
think
wait,
it's
wait.
you
He said
think
because
it's
he
good
had better
rhetoric?
rhetoric.
Rhetoric,
Huh?
Abdullah, do you think that's how you win a debate? By who has better rhetoric?
No, I said if neither of you guys like prove your point, the person who would win is the one with the better rhetoric.
Ooh, yeah, that's stuff. I would think it would be the person with better logic. But check this out.
No, I'm saying neither of you guys like won. He didn't like neither of you guys proved your point.
That sounds different than destroyed. That sounds like a draw, even on your own reckoning. But Abdullah, did you understand why God Logic was asking him those questions?
Yeah.
Okay, what was the reason do you think God Logic was asking him those questions in the first place?
Because he wanted to see if Muslims could do better than Sheikh Uthman. Because like
No.
allegedly committed shirk.
No. That doesn't even make sense. Remember, they were talking about is Jesus God, right?
He's misunderstanding your question.
Okay, yeah.
During the debate, Abdullah. During the debate.
Why was God Logic asking Uthman the question about titles and names in the first place?
Because Jesus in Revelations calls himself the first and the last, and in the Quran Allah calls himself the first and the last. And so it's like a name for God in Islam.
Right. Well, there's a lot more than one, though. I don't know if a lot of Muslims realize there's lots of titles that Allah stole
Yeah, there's
from.
99. 99, I know, buddy.
In fact, in early June, I was in Speaker's Corner, and that was my sermon. I went through Revelation chapter 1 and showed all the times Allah stole titles from Jesus. It's a whole bunch, and that was
Allah originally had those titles, but I guess people just wanted to
how did
they want
Allah
to make
have
your
those
man
titles?
God look better.
Yeah, well, you understand that Jesus is in the 1st century, and the book that has Allah in is in the 7th century. You know that, right?
Yeah, but you realize the Old Testament also calls Yahweh the first and the last. So Jesus, I guess, stole that. Like what?
Well, Allah has nothing to do with Yahweh. If we're talking about
No,
Allah.
well, he is actually.
Well, you're just saying that, but that's just religious assertion. No one should believe that, and I don't think anyone does, except for Muslims.
No, that's true. We believe God has multiple names and revealed himself to different people with
And
different
those
names.
names can only be for him, which was the whole point that God Logic was setting up. And on the basic point, the first step in the argument, Uthman stumbled. So I don't think he destroyed anything.
According to you, Uthman stumbled.
Well,
I guess so,
Abdullah seemed to think that too. That's why I want you to move on to someone else. Abdullah.
Yeah, so when are you going to debate the Orthodox Muslim, bro? Come on.
It's funny that you think that's the answer.
You
The
guys
real
never
answer-
answered this question, bro.
He
never answered. You ran from him 4 times.
Yeah, I'll
You ran
debate.
from him 4 times.
Brother, you could turn your bot mode off. It's all good.
Bro, you're a bot.
I'll think about debating Orthodox Muslim once he gets on his knees and apologizes to my wife for slandering her. That's when I might think about entertaining him. And
When,
Oh, yeah,
why did
wait,
he
wait.
slander
Oh,
her?
that's the same
Why did he
guy.
slander her?
yeah, that's the same guy.
Why did he slander her? Why do you think that? Why do you think he slandered her?
Why don't you
Wait,
show me?
check
why?
out Abdullah. Check out Abdullah. Instead of just saying that was wrong or something like that,
Uh-huh.
like, well,
Why?
what was the reason for that? What was the reason for that?
So
there
he
must have been a good
agrees.
reason. You know, whenever you slander a woman, there must be a good reason. Abdullah, do you think
Well,
it's
didn't you wait? Let me talk. Didn't you slander like?
let him talk. Is it classy
Yeah.
to slander
So
a
his
man's
point
wife?
was like, His point that like he didn't attack
Abdullah, you
your
cool?
wife.
You cool with
Your,
that?
your wife was insulting the Prophet and was insulting Aisha.
Show me where she insulted Aisha.
She said that she basically said that she was a filthy child, right?
Show us the clip where she says that Aisha was filthy in any way, shape, or form.
No, I don't remember, but I remember like in the context
Oh,
about.
you don't remember now. You don't
No, because
remember
like
now.
I know the ones about the Prophet, especially you guys.
She has an entire video defending Aisha. What are you talking about? If you go on Lady Logic's channel, she has a video where she's talking about child marriage, and she defends Aisha. Matter of fact, she ends the video with a song that's literally called "Justice for Aisha," which should be out pretty soon on Apologetics Hitmakers Volume 2. So I'm confused on this accusation that my wife slandered or insulted Aisha. Where is this coming from? This sounds like a bold-faced lie as an excuse to slander my wife. Would you agree that if this is a lie, then the person that you're taking this lie from isn't worth entertaining?
Not necessarily, because she could have like slandered the Prophet, or you could have slandered the Prophet.
Hey, I want you to do something, man. Can you look down for me?
You got baked by Libiano, bro.
Can you look
got
down?
cooked.
Can you look down? What does Darren Dorsey say? It's a body bag, man. Get off the stage. Get your bot self out. Turn bot mode off, and maybe you might be able to engage as a human. You're an embarrassment. Get off my stage. You'll never be back again. I love people like that. I love guests like that. I'll tell you why. Because they do a much better job than me at exposing Islam. They do. A guest like that is a fruit of Islam, a fruit of Muhammad. Just letting you guys know. I love putting them, giving them the limelight where they can demonstrate their dishonesty, their hypocrisy, their lies, their slander, because they are a product of Islam. When you say your Shahada, that's what you become, ladies and gentlemen. So those of you guys that are watching this thinking about Islam and thinking about becoming Muslim and wow, Islam seemed like it was good, I want you to know that's what you're going to become when you say that Shahada. Justice for Aisha. Look at my wife right here. Hold on. Where's her comment? Why did you just do that? That's not my wife. This is. Justice for Aisha. Look at her defending Aisha. Speaking on the honor on behalf of Aisha because she couldn't speak for herself when she was getting mounted as a little kid. Who in the world, who in their right mind would slander little Aisha? She was a child. My wife's not a bully. My wife has common sense. All right, let's break up. It's Shin. How you doing?
Hello?
Hello, are you a Muslim?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you just fine. Have you seen the Sheikh Uthman debate video?
Yes, actually, this is the first time I come here after, I watched that video and I come here because I want to talk to you.
Okay, what do you want to talk about?
Okay, so you're trying to make me do better than Uthman, which is, to be honest, very easy because you're not very good.
Are you sure you're Muslim?
Yes, I am a Muslim.
Let me hear you say the Shahada, man.
أنا أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله ومحمد رسول الله.
I don't know, man. Recite the first verse of Surah Fatiha.
I don't remember right now.
Yeah. See,
my Arabic is not very good, brother God Logic. I am Indian. I did not learn Arabic until.
I don't know, man. I don't know. That Shahada seemed a little bit, but you said you don't really know Arabic like that. I don't know if I could get it. That's a little iffy, man. You know?
No, I could say it again. It is literally أنا أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. Oh, sorry. أنا أشهد
you
أن
messing
لا
up the
إله إلا
Shahada.
الله.
You messing up the Shahada.
I only learned Arabic only a few years ago. I'm not very good. So you have to be graceful with me.
I don't know, man. See, I learned how to spot a false Muslim from the Dawa guys. They said that if you can't say the Shahada without mistakes or recite Surah Fatiha, then you're not really a Muslim.
Now, to be honest, I am a 2-year old convert, so you cannot really, expect too much of me, God logic. You have to be, come on, brother.
I'll give you a
But
chance, man. I'll give you a chance. I'll give you a chance.
yeah,
I'll
I
give you a
promise you,
chance.
I will be 100% respectful. I will not be like the
I trust you.
Abdullah who came.
I
I
trust you.
promise you, brother.
I trust you. You sound like a nice guy. I'm
Also,
hoping I can trust you as a Muslim. Okay.
yeah, of course.
All right.
Okay, so my debate would be about. So I'm trying to be better than Sheikh Uthman, okay?
Yep.
So my debate would be about. Do you know about the New Testament canon and the whole mechanism on how it was chosen? All of these technicalities.
Not in its
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I was gonna say.
What do you mean? What do you mean mechanism?
Like how it was chosen, the people who chose it, how did they choose it? All of these details. Like,
Sounds
for
like
example,
based upon what you're saying so far, I'm not sure if you know how the New Testament canon was formed.
no,
Go
I
ahead.
could. Here, I'll read you what I have in my notes. Hold on.
And
Okay.
what do you think? What do you think this will prove, by the way?
So no, I'm only attacking the historical reliability of the New Testament.
Your accent sucks, dude.
Sorry?
Your accent, it sucks.
I know, man. Indian, we are very bad at English, man. I'm sorry.
No, this isn't your real accent, man. Why are you playing games, bro?
What?
What?
God logic. If you don't believe me, you can kick me off. I mean, I'm only trying to be
I
honest.
can.
Here, so.
I can. I'm trying to give you a chance to be honest because I can see your channel name, and I've seen you before. You've been on here quite a few times actually. You was on here the other day.
So what's his motivation? What is he doing then?
It's a good question. I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt, man. Can you stop playing now?
I'm not playing. This is me. If you want to kick me out, kick me out. I'm okay with it. You could kick me out.
All right. If we take you serious though, with whatever criticism you're going to have for the canon formation in the New Testament, are you willing to apply the same standard to the formation of the Quran?
He's gone.
Oh, that would have been nice to know.
It's gonna be fun when he tries to come back on another account. Exactly.
Who's Jamal?
Jamal is a guy that kept coming back. He's been kind of trolling a bit, trying to, I don't know what his motive is.
What do people get out of this? I don't know. Life's too busy to just mess around. I don't understand people.
I don't know.
What do they get out of this, man?
All right, let's get some more. Let's get Lorenzo. I'm not bringing you up today, OG. Not today, man. I don't want you to sit there for a long time and waste your time. All right. Tough, man. So let's see here. If you're a Muslim, you can request up only if you're Muslim, guys. Please and thank you. But yeah, that's tough, Jamal, man. It's pretty weird. Let's get into this other part, which is also one of my favorites.
The James Dunn part?
Yeah.
Oh, there, you got my right one. Yeah, turn this up. This is good. All right, start right in the beginning. Yeah. And showed you how done. Then what happened is I went to done and showed you how done refers to Christians worshiping Jesus and even mentions a specific verse. That was strike two. You're done, just like done.
You yourself.
It's
just the beginning. That's the intro.
Well, I know it's the intro. You thought you cooked with that, didn't you?
I was having fun.
Yo, this man thought he cooked with that, y'all. You're done, just like done.
Heat of the moment.
was in this little flow state. I'm hating. I admit, I don't care. I be hating in public, not in private.
All right.
Let's go.
Have admitted that you're not a scholar.
Done. Just like done.
That beat hard though.
That's
You
right.
yourself have admitted that you're not a scholar. But James D.G. Dunn, which I'm sure you know who he is, one of the most authoritative and respected
what?
scholars. You don't think he is? All right,
No.
interesting.
I don't.
All right. Well, interestingly, he actually mentioned that Christians of the earliest generations did not worship Jesus. And in fact, he considered that if Christians of the early generations saw this, they would consider it Jesus a lottery, like idolatry, which simply would mean that Jesus is worship, but also would fall short from the worship of due to the one true God of the Father.
Now, on page 28 of James Dunn's book that you brought as well, I bookmarked for you on page 28. If you could just read that top sentence of that second paragraph, please.
Sure.
This is about in relationship to worship of Jesus. What's it say?
Same to all, the fact that such worship language is used in reference to Jesus. Worship language is used in reference to Jesus, even if only occasionally, is very striking. This would, I don't know, what, you gotta go to the bathroom or something, bro? This would have been entirely unusual and without precedence in the Judaism of the time. You want me to keep reading, or
So,
you want me to keep
was
reading?
worship language used in relationship to Jesus? First question. Was it unusual? Second question. And then if you could read the last two sentences of that same paragraph.
Okay, it's interesting. You want me to skip over a lot?
You
but
can read
okay.
the rest if you want.
Okay,
That's fine
no
with me. It's not
problem.
going to help you. though.
What last two sentences?
The last
Where do you want me to
sentences of
start?
the same paragraph you just sent out a book for.
In fact, that this definition is in the wider Mediterranean world. The fact that this definition could be used as casual and as taken for granted, as it is in, I could be used.
First Corinthians 1:2.
Yeah, I just has a number one. It didn't
It
mention.
means first.
Okay, gotcha. Corinthians 1:2 assuredly indicates that invocation of the Lord Jesus in prayer was a regular feature in early Christian worship.
Early Christian what?
Worship.
Oh,
worship?
Again. So you want me to answer?
ain't no way, bro. Listen, Linda. Listen. When you know you're caught, when you know someone is caught, they immediately try to stall. They have certain stalling tactics that are like, it's like knee-jerk reactions. Do you want me to answer that? Can I answer that? Do you want me to finish? Bruh, he just asked you a very clear question. What do you mean? Can I answer that? Or do you want me to answer that? He just asked you the question and gave you space to talk. My gosh, if he was any lighter, he'd be red. It looks like he's almost kind of red a little bit, but my goodness, dude. Whoa. Hold on, let's run it back and then I'll let you commentate a little bit, because my God, and this ain't even it.
I was going to talk to the wife real quick. Go ahead.
Again, so worship.
Early Christian what?
Worship. Jesus in prayer was a regular feature in early Christian worship.
Early Christian what?
Worship.
Was Jesus worshipped?
Again, so do you want me to answer?
I'm sorry. I'm not good. I don't know if I'm gonna make it through this part. Hey, ALH, we need a short of this, man. We need a short of this part. Oh my gosh. Whoa, man. Do this man a favor and make this a short. My gosh. We'll probably get a little sound bite from Vocab when he gets back and stuff to say what he says, just to add a little something to the short. But my goodness. ALH, we need a short on this, because this gotta be everywhere. Are y'all serious? This is why I said it. This is why I said, listen, look, Sig got the Bruce Almighty point, right? He got the Bruce. And we're gonna have Sig to review his part too. We got Sig with the Bruce Almighty. That you're not all, if you claim to be almighty, you're not claiming to be God. And then he uses a movie reference to prove his point. Bruce Almighty. We got Elijah, who came with is the Messiah named Yahweh? Yes, I'll concede that. Is Yahweh the Most High God? Yes, according to the Bible, yes. So you just conceded Jesus is the Most High God. Done, ditto, it's over with in just 10 minutes. And then you got the vocab Malone section. Is this you, bro? Is this you? We got the real fact check live in real time, getting fact checked on the stuff he said. It wasn't even his turn, not on vocab's turn, and the man is fact checking him. Now I got him to commit shirk and say that you could be a Muslim and commit shirk and stuff like that, but those parts just hit harder, way harder than what I did to him. Oh my goodness, man. Whoa. All right, let's just one more time, and here we go. This is just beautiful work, man.
Worship. Jesus in prayer was a regular feature in early Christian worship.
Early Christian what?
Worship.
Was Jesus worshipped?
Again, so do you want me to answer? According to this, yes. He actually mentions that Christians of the earliest generations did not worship Jesus.
Was Jesus worshipped?
According to this, yes. But in the same book that you read and the same book that you're quoting, that you're now trying to jump away from what I read earlier, it says Christian worship as the
look at Eli back there stirring it because you cooking this man, bruh. Straight up chefing it. Listen, I don't do this often. It's not often that I do this vocab, but you, my friend, with your mastery and culinary arts.
You're fun.
Vocab,
You're about to grab some utensils.
I got to.
Okay. While he does that, for people who want a more expansive take on this issue that Dunn brought up, read the works of Larry Hurtado and Richard Bauckham. Those two scholars will give you a fuller picture. Larry Hurtado and Richard Bauckham. I encourage the audience to pick up those works. And that's who Dunn is trying to contend with, because Larry Hurtado and Richard Bauckham do such great work showing Jesus was worshipped by God. As God by the earliest Christians. And it looks like we're about to get a wardrobe change here. All right, man. Not even on the screen, though. So you can't be giving it to me. Oh, here. Feels
You
good
have
to
now
be
been knighted a chef vocab, because the way that you done cook this man and with the mastery, with the skill, with the intricacy, with the precision that you've done it, the seasoning that you have dazzled over the soup. It was halal and it was sahih.
The cilantro makes all the difference.
Oh, yes, it does. Woo! Okay, first question. As you're loading this up, as you're prepping this, as you're in the pot and you're just, prepping the salad, and what are you thinking as you're having him read through the Dunn book in these parts? What are you thinking? Uh-oh. Lost your vocab. 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 No. vocab. He was just getting started. He was just getting started. Oh, vocab. It's okay. We lost him, y'all. We lost him. He was a good man. He did his thing and was unmatched in his culinary arts. The world was just getting to know him. The world was just getting to know his skill. Oh, there you go. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was you thinking as you was prepping it up and getting ready to read? Having him read the source. What was going through your mind, big dog?
Well, when he brought up James Dunn, it was just like with the MacArthur source. So I did the MacArthur one first because I already had that on Logos. So I just looked through it. Then I said, well, let me see about Dunn real quick. So I knew where I could find a quick critique and overview of some of the Dunn stuff to make sure I located the right spot from Larry Hurtado, someone I mentioned people should check out. And then I just downloaded the book on Kindle right there. So I just did it while you guys were talking, and then I just looked at the spot right there and made sure I had the right context and stuff and said, I hope I can get him to read this. And it did make things a little tricky in the beginning because I was going to start with my own material, of course. Like it was obviously that wasn't planned, but I said, man, I don't want to let him get away with that. He needs to see, and they need to see right there. And so I said, I'm just going to have to start with this. And it turned out well. It turned out well. I was glad that he read it, and I was glad that I think it was clear to everybody. Even in Dunn, who I don't even know if he understands Dunn. Dunn thinks that Jesus's worship in a more explicit kind of way was still a first century development. He just thinks it was towards the end of the first century. So it's still right there. Right. And Dunn is inconsistent in how he defines worship and how he defines who God is. So if you read the Dunn book, it has some problems of definition and what worship is. So he'll say things like, well, these are Christ hymns. So he'll recognize Christ hymns in the text of the New Testament. But then he'll say something like, but they're hymns thanking God for Christ, but not worshiping Christ directly as God. And then it's a little tricky. Dunn himself, for example, denies a lot of the Gospel of John. So since he throws that data out, that factors into what he's saying about what data is valid in the New Testament. So that's important to know. But even with that, Dunn is, even with his sort of predispositions, he has some biases I don't agree with. Yeah. He's still an honest enough scholar to say, even with my thesis being that in general, Christians didn't explicitly worship God in the way you guys might think, sometimes they did. That's what he said. That's what he's saying. So he's saying it's occasional or rare, but there's times where basically even Dunn, over and against his own thesis, can't deny early Christians explicitly worship Jesus. And so when he does so in a moment of clarity, saying this was very unusual within Judaism. So that it's a fascinating thing what he's saying. And that's the part I want him to read. And he's acting like he's trying to filibuster. He's acting like, well, that's just in the beginning where he's exploring different opinions. No, Dunn is saying that about the data he's taken in, because the book is about, is Jesus worships God in the New Testament as far as the parts he takes as authentic. And even in those parts, such as 1 Corinthians, he's saying there's times where it is explicit, so it's striking. It's just rare. So it's like he tried to use the book as like basically a period, but it's more like an ellipsis on the end of a sentence, you know?
Yeah.
And it was clear he didn't know that. It was clear he didn't know that.
So then now, as the moment is happening, my grandma said, it's all right, Avery. He will come back. Talk.
She's a prophet.
She's so comforting, and yes, she's more of a prophet than Muhammad. So in the moment, as it's happening, the reactions from us, what it said, what, this moment, how does that come? Like, to be in the moment, like what is it to be in that moment and make sure that you really hammer it in like that. Because, some people, you get the people that just see, well, yeah, you got this right. But no, you hammered it in.
I don't know. I was just having fun. I mean, to me, it was a very fun moment because I thought it was like, because I try to do it in a way where we're having this conversation and we're just looking at these things together. Yeah. So to me, it was not merely fun, obviously, but I mean, I was just there sort of enjoying it, being with some of my friends that I know and then some new friends, and then having him be able to see it. I was just really enjoying the moment. And so I was glad to be there, and I'm glad that it turned out clear,
Yeah.
And, what's tough is some of his reading diluted the point a little bit.
Yes, it did.
I thought it was important for him to read it, but I don't know if you noticed, but I put the thing on screen and he went up a line and then went back down into it. Then the I Corinthians blunder, but he said I could. So some of his reading actually did hinder the impact of the point a little bit, but that's why I asked him again, because I knew there was a hindrance there because of the way he verbalized it. I wanted to ask him, and I said, so did the early Christians worship Jesus? And he goes, well, according to this, yes. But earlier, and the clip showed it, earlier he says, according to this, they didn't.
No. Yep.
So it's like, okay, here you have it.
Let's get it up again. All right, let's go ahead and stop glazing so much and finish this.
Find too simple away from what I read earlier. The book that you read to this, yes, did not work. He actually mentions that Christians of the earliest generations did not worship Jesus.
Was Jesus worshipped?
According to this, yes. but in the same book that you read and the same book that you're quoting, that you're now trying to jump away from what I read earlier, it says Christian worship as defined too simply as the worship of Jesus, for that would emerge as an inequity is taken seriously. It would soon become evident that Christian worship can deteriorate into what would be called Jesusolatry, like idolatry. What? It is not simply into the worship of Jesus, but the worship that falls short of the worship of the one true God, the Father, the Lord of Jesus Christ. I use the term Jesusolatry as an important sense parallel to that of idolatry. So if you're going to quote him, then continue
that
the
means
quote.
They worship Jesus as God,
right?
That's what it's saying, though.
So that would be again. It's not.
But you're going to filibuster.
It's not. I'm not. I'm reading it. I'm not filibustering anything, right? Here.
So he just admitted that they worship Jesus as God, and he's calling it Jesusolatry, and linking it with idolatry, because idolatry is the worship of other gods. So they're worshiping Jesus as God. He's calling it Jesusolatry, which is something that's wrong to do. That's Dunn's point, right, Vocab?
Yeah, it seems so. But could you play a little bit of that clip again? Because again, the way he read it was so jumbled. I want to make sure I have it in the book here again. Because I honestly, I'm not trying to be funny. I don't fully think he understood what he was reading.
Of course he
doesn't.
The
context of the book. And but notice what also I want people to notice a little clever mistake, a clever tactic he tried to use. He said the earliest generations of Christians. So the implied thing is like, well, this high Christology is this way later development. But even in Dunn's own book, he has some Christians sometimes worshiping Jesus in the earliest generations, because it's in 1 Corinthians, which is a book 20 some years or so after Jesus's resurrection.
Right.
So is that generations away? It's not. Because Dunn's example was 1 Corinthians 1:2, where he said, look, and he said they did it casually. What he means by that, he's saying that it seems like they understood that definition. Read 1 Corinthians 1:2 and you'll see. But I want to listen to this quote again and see what he's trying to say here.
As Israel prophets pointed out on several, I'm not filibustering anything, right? Here, as Israel prophets pointed out on several occasions, the calamity of idolatry is that of idols in substitution of God. So if somebody takes the worship of God, it would take away from Jesus, takes the place of God. The worship due is to God and absorbed it by the idol. The danger of Jesusolatry is the place of one creator, God, Jesus absorbing the worship of the true one creator. Now, because he mentions.
Okay, let's
Oh, no,
respond to
let me
that.
finish.
I can
Let me
respond to that,
let me
Rick. That was
finish.
kind of a long
Let
paragraph.
me
It
finish
was
the
a long
quote.
paragraph.
Okay,
What's
go ahead.
the is
It's
there a
just
build up on
one-liner.
it?
Yeah, it's
And
one-liner.
Let's do
inclusionary?
one liner
Again,
Go ahead.
he goes through many ideas of whether they're worshiping or not, but in the conclusion, in the end, he says the first Christians did not worship Jesus as such. Worship is always and should always be offered to the glory of God the Father. That's the conclusion.
And that's why you got to
of
read
the
the
book.
whole book.
Yes, I did read the whole
Yes,
book.
yeah.
And
You didn't
cannot-
have that section highlighted, did you?
I didn't have it
I
highlighted.
highlighted it for you. You're welcome.
I didn't highlight the whole book, but that doesn't mean I didn't read the whole book. When an author goes through a book, he presents this side and that side. Christians of the earliest generations did not worship Jesus, the Lord Jesus.
Was Jesus worshipped?
According to this, yes. But his conclusion is where the end is. Thank you.
That's not what
rolled
Dunn was
over.
doing there. Dunn
I
was
agree with
commenting on I Corinthians. That's what he was
Are we
doing
talking
there.
about Muhammad in the Bible, or are we talking about worshiping?
Oh, well, don't
Jesus?
bring Dunn if you don't.
You cold for that, man.
I couldn't help it, man.
You cold for
Couldn't help it.
Don't want to talk about Dunn. Now,
Let's-
the point to
We're
do,
on a
Find-
prompt
Okay.
that you're running
hold on,
from.
Hold on.
All right.
Let's find your points,
Okay,
Gab.
so the point was to show you misuse sources.
Yeah. That beat is tough.
That's right. Yeah. So even in the conclusion of the part he's reading, listen to this. Like, Dunn's a little wishy-washy, but I want to show you something just a couple paragraphs after what he's reading. Did the first Christians worship Jesus? Can be seen to be much less relevant, less important, and potentially misleading. It can be answered simply or simplistically, even dismissively, with a mainly negative answer. So he's saying most Christians, in Dunn's opinion, but the way he defines it is inadequate. Most Christians didn't worship Jesus most of the time. That's what he's saying. But listen to this. No, by and large, the first Christians did not worship Jesus as such. Worship language and practice at times do appear in the New Testament in reference to Christ. This is the end of the dumb book. So he's acting like, oh, since it was earlier, it doesn't count. But I'm reading from the conclusion at the very back of the book. And you see how he's a little bit wishy-washy. But what Dunn is saying, listen to this. And you'll see that Dunn himself has some issues. But the problem is Dunn writes wishy-washy. And so then Uthman didn't really understand it.
Yeah.
It says this. There are some problems, even dangers, in Christian worship if it is to be defined too simply as worship of Jesus. For if what has emerged in this inquiry is taken seriously, it soon becomes evident that Christian worship can deteriorate into what may be called Jesus-olatry. So Dunn is basically saying that Christian worship did do that. Now Dunn is kind of critiquing it. This is his sort of opinion on the data he's collated. So he's saying, well, look, this is what happens. Now look what he says. That is not simply into worship of Jesus, but into a worship that falls short of the worship due to the one God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. So Dunn is kind of separating them there. So he doesn't have an orthodox view of who Christ is from that.
Yeah.
I use the term Jesus-olatry as in an important sense parallel or even close to idolatry. So he's like saying that Israel would basically, it's almost like a Jewish perspective here, that Israel would be like, hey, why are you worshiping that guy? That's an idol. But look what it says. The danger of Jesus-olatry is similar. Now, if Dunn is saying that Christian worship deteriorated into Jesus-olatry, he's just saying in a negative way that they had a high Christology. That's all he's saying. The danger of Jesus-olatry is similar, that Jesus has been substituted for God. Now, this is Dunn writing critically. But if he's saying Jesus has been substituted for God, what is that? And by the way, even though he's writing critically, that's kind of true in a sense. What do I mean? All the Yahweh texts that are applied to Jesus. Now, we understand because of the Trinitarian nature, substitution is probably not the best word, but the Yahweh texts are applied to Jesus. And you made that point with the titles. For God has taken the place of the one creator, God. Jesus is absorbing the worship due to God alone. This is from Dunn's book. He's critiquing Jesus-olatry, but listen to what he says. This is a sentence in the book. Jesus is absorbing the worship due to God alone. Now remember, he's talking about the earliest Christians. So I'm just saying, even in the book, it's here, right there. So I don't think he really understood. And if you want a better, clearer picture, like I said, I recommend again and again Larry Hurtado and Richard Balcom. And that's who Dunn was trying to interact with, because Balcom and Hurtado's theses are so convincing. But this is from the same Dunn book that he was talking about. So don't let him use Dunn on you either. Don't let the Dawa guys,
use done unless you're going to use done too.
Yeah.
And it's like
So
The
now
point-
now
I
we know,
start-
because that's the
Say-
special.
go ahead.
No,
Say
I was just saying that's important because they like to quote mine these book authors, right? And people haven't read these guys. No one's gonna be an extensive James Dunn apologist type guy. No, you don't really find it. They quote mine these guys and then try to use them against Christians in these scenarios. So, man, it is good to know what they say in their book, though.
Hey, can I
That's
tell you
crazy.
something real quick? Who a group of people that like the work, especially the latter work of James D.G. Dunn in particular, the oneness guys, the Unitarian guys like Dunn.
Yes.
Because Dunn kind of writes from that perspective, and he's a legitimate scholarly voice. I'm not saying that he is correct, but like if a person's a scholar, I don't deny that they're a scholar, even if I disagree with them. Dunn's a legitimate scholar, even if you disagree. And so some of the oneness and Unitarian, you'll sometimes see some in their blogs, them reviewing his work and basically kind of using it as like, hey, yeah, this is right. And so they have a kind of a scholarly veneer for their Unitarianism or their oneness views, because you notice that Dunn wrote that right there. Jesus is absorbing the worship due to God alone. A oneness person could say that. They could accuse us of Jesus-olatry. Like I'm saying, a oneness, not as much a oneness, especially probably a Unitarian more so, would probably really say that. But anyways.
Wow.
That's
Good stuff. Let's see. We got a couple of guests trying to get up here. So let's see. Remember, guys, only request up if you are a Muslim. And let's see if you guys can get on stage here and do better than Uthman. LRL, how you doing? LRL, you're on stage.
Hi, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hey.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Firstly, please forgive me for my poor English. I'm from South Asian. So,
That's okay. Can you do better than Uthman?
I don't follow Usman. I count him from the deviants among Muslims.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's good. He committed shirk, so yeah, he is a deviant.
No, it's not about shirk. There are different category of deviants who is called innovators in Islam among Muslims.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
So anyway,
did you see his episode against 10 Christians?
it's just a clip because I don't take knowledge from him. He's a nonsense guy. Show off.
Why don't you like him? What's your main critique of him?
He don't follow actual belief system and methodology which a Muslim should follow.
Do you have a good example of someone who does, maybe?
Yes.
Who?
In English speakers, if you can note it down, it is Salafi Publications of UK, and in US, it's Troid, TROID. They are the correct representations of Muslims.
Avery, are you able to make out what he's saying?
Okay,
I was listening.
I'll try to say again. In UK, among English speakers, among English students, it is Salafi Publications, SALAFI Publications.
Okay, so you're Salafi, right?
I'm trying to be.
Why do you want to be Salafi?
And that is the orthodox methodology of Islam.
And you don't think Uthman meets the muster on that?
Yeah.
What's the best thing about being Salafi?
The best thing about being Salafi is that the Muslims who follow that methodology especially focus on the belief system and how to implement that belief system with the correct methodology. The correct methodology as in whatever the companions of Prophet has explained.
Can I ask you something? Why do you think the companions of Muhammad were correct?
Because they have taken knowledge directly from the Prophet.
But how does that entail that they're correct then?
Because we believe that the Prophet was a truthful one. So whatever he preaches, the companions accept it and explain.
But how do you know that?
We have a complete, different science regarding that we authenticate whatever report is narrated from them.
Does Muhammad tell you to listen to his companions after he dies?
Yes.
Where did he say that?
It is in the Quran.
Where does he say that though?
It is chapter 9, verse 100. God says to follow as companions followed Muhammad.
Did he list out which companions you should follow?
Yeah, Muhajir and Ansar. He summed it up.
What do you think of that, Avery?
That sounds interesting. Oh, he did definitely point at 4 people that you should learn the Quran from.
So do you?
That's it.
So you like those 4, right? As for the foremost, the first of the immigrants and the helpers and those who follow them in goodness, God is pleased with them and they are pleased with him. He has prepared for them gardens. Did you say Surah 9:100?
Yeah.
Under which rivers flow, so stay there forever and ever. This is the ultimate triumph.
The immigrants and the helpers, it's the second name of companions of Prophet.
Yeah, but what if? But how do we know if they're wrong or not?
No, they couldn't be wrong because the God has given them gave us the guarantee that they are the best people in understanding the belief system of Islam.
Because they're guardians.
They have preserved Quran, right? So they are the ones who wrote Quran in the form of book. So they are the truthful ones among Muslims, the most truthful.
Did God do that with the New Testament too?
Sorry.
Did God did God do for the Quran what he did for the New Testament?
I don't believe that. I don't think so because just now I had a small chat with one of the Christians. He said that the preservation of Bible has been done by via manuscripts, and I told him that preservation of Quran has been done by memorizations by reliable men.
Ooh, why'd you tell him that?
What I should have tell him?
Yeah, you said it's been done orally.
Yeah.
None of those people from the 7th century, they're not here with us. So they wrote things down, didn't they?
I didn't get you. I'm really sorry. My English is not my first language.
The
I'm trying hard.
The companions of Muhammad, they're not with us. And so the words of Muhammad, they were written down, weren't they?
No, they wrote it down after the death. After the death of Prophet, not within the life.
After Muhammad died, they wrote it down. But you said it was orally, and you said that was better than manuscripts. But
so how did they write after that? They memorized it, right, initially.
Yeah, but then they wrote it down, right?
Yeah, for ignorant Muslims like me.
What is it called when you write something down on paper like that? What's that called?
We call it a book or
a manuscript. Or a manuscript. Okay. So why'd you tell him that the Quran was done orally and the Bible was done with manuscripts?
Because in Quran, the God said that we have preserved our book in the chest of men of knowledge. So even today, in almost all the Muslim
households,
not
relevant. That's not relevant to 7th century documents, though, is it? The young 15-year-old who's memorized the Quran in the mosque, what's that have to do with 7th century documents?
Yeah, baby. That's why I told you that no. There is something. The thing is, we have this methodology of Jarvatadil, praise and criticism of reliable men. So by that biographies, we preserved the oral transmission.
Okay, but they wrote down the transmission. They wrote it down, right?
For ignorant Muslim like me.
Okay, thank you. So if that's the case, why are you telling your friend that the Bible was done manuscripts, but the Quran was done orally, when you just said they wrote down what they memorized? That means the Quran has a manuscript tradition, doesn't it?
Yeah, secondary. You could say it's secondary, but primarily it is the memorization.
Hey, let's just pause here for a second. How do you know the earliest Christians didn't memorize the words of Jesus?
Maybe earliest Christian, but today, in today's world, in
No.
2026,
Let's not talk about the 21st century. We're talking about, if we're going to talk about Bible manuscripts and Christian memorization, we'd have to talk about the first century. So let's not leapfrog into the future, right? So you're saying that you know it's accurate because it was memorized, but how do you know that didn't happen with the New Testament?
yeah, maybe they might have memorized initially.
Oh, okay. And then they wrote it down, right?
Yeah, but
Just like with the Quran. So why are you trying to tell your friend the Quran is better in this situation?
because what you mentioned, the manuscript became the primary source of your preservation, and ours remains the memorization as the primary preservation.
Okay, but what are you memorizing? It's not in a cloud. It's on a piece of paper.
Cloud, one day it will. I mean, what do you say? It could be hacked, but memorization don't get hacked.
Right. Well, Uthman hacked the Quran, didn't he?
Usman is not a reference point for me.
No, the old school Uthman.
The caliphate.
Now, but
okay,
here's what
Usman.
I'm saying. You're saying
Okay.
people are memorizing it, but look, for example, I memorized Psalm 89 once. I don't have it all as well as I did now because I haven't revisited it again and again. But how did I memorize Psalm 89 when I did it? Do you know how? I read it from a book, and then I committed it to memory.
Can I ask you on this? Can I ask one question on this?
But when Muslims memorize the Quran, where are they getting it from? They're getting it from a manuscript, right?
No, they are getting that from the teacher, not from the manuscript.
So it goes all the way back to the teachers. Then why did you even write down the words in the book in the first place?
For non-Arabic guys like me.
But it was done in Arabic. So why would you, if it's done for non-Arabic speakers, why would you write it in Arabic?
Yeah, so that is the language of Quran. So we actually preserve the language of Quran, which is revealed in. And you told that you have.
That's what you just said. The way you preserve it is through manuscripts.
Let me ask you one question. You said that you have memorized the Psalms, right? So
No.
memorize?
I said I had once memorized Psalm 89.
Okay,
See, this
Psalm
is the problem
89.
with oral transmission, my friend. Errors creep in.
No. Actually, my first language is not English, so I didn't hear that. My question is, did you memorize in English or the Greek?
Well, if I was going to do Psalms in the original language, it would be in Hebrew. But I memorized it in English. But the point had to do with memorization. So going back to the Quran, I don't understand why you're making this disconnect that the Quran has a manuscript tradition as well. You're aware the Quran has different manuscripts, right?
It was regarding the variants. I mean, variants. You know how it differed? Those 7 variants. You know, can you say specifically?
Those are 7 different readings. Those are different than the variants in the Quran. There's a lot more than 7. There's a lot more than 7 variants when it comes to Quranic manuscripts. But here's the thing: you're admitting that the Quran has variants. So I feel like you told your friend wrong information. You were acting like the Quran had a superior.
No, Quran is revealed in 7 variants. And what do you mean by variants here? I just want to know. What did you understand that?
See, it doesn't. It's readings, but variant is where 2 manuscripts read differently in some matter.
But it means the same. It usually have the synonyms. 7 different synonyms.
No, see, you don't understand what a variant is. This is why we're going to have a difficult conversation here. A variant is a technical term that textual critics use. A variant is when 2 different manuscripts read different in the same place where it's supposed to read the same, and there's a divergence. So it's a variant. I'll give you a simple example. Hold on, I'm going to give you an example because it's clear this is maybe a new area for you, and that's fine. In the New Testament manuscripts in Greek, sometimes it says Christ Jesus, and sometimes it says Jesus Christ. Every one of those counts as a variant. So a variant is a different reading. The Quran has those too. For example, you have Brubaker's work, Corrections in Early Quranic Manuscripts. It's about it. 20 examples that he gives. You also have Keith Small's work, Textual Criticism and Quran Manuscripts, because the Quran was transmitted. I don't understand why Muslims don't understand their book was written down because it's a book, you know? And isn't it good to be people of the book anyway? Isn't that a good thing?
But I request you to reply me to your queries.
Hold it down, vocab. I gotta do something real quick.
All right. What was? Let me know when you're back because we can go on the next guy when you're back. I'm cool with that if you want to.
Oh
Well,
yeah, I could go. I could bring up somebody else. If
yeah,
you
yeah,
want.
yeah. Okay, maybe check out some of my videos on textual criticism and let's talk again.
Is it for me?
Oh, I thought you were moving on, Mr. Logic.
No, I
Yeah,
had
yeah,
I
yeah.
had questions to your queries, but if you want me to go, then I'll go. No problem.
Well, whatever Logic wants, because maybe he can get somewhere more. Because
It's
So
okay. It's okay.
hey, LRL, come back Friday. I'll be live again.
Okay. One last
Yeah.
question. You can reply me in one line if you want. One last
One
question,
line.
if you allow.
One line.
Yeah,
Okay, go
if
ahead.
you allow, only if you allow.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. My biggest concern regarding your podcast or all other non-Muslim podcasters, why do they chat? Why do they have super chats when they are preaching when they think their religion is the religion of truth?
why do Muslim YouTubers take money from Saudi Arabia?
We don't take money. Salafis don't take money.
Well, Salafi, yes, you do, bro.
Brother, you must be brand new to your faith.
He is. He's new.
Okay.
All right, hey,
So
come back Friday. We'll talk more about some real stuff. Okay.
Okay. Hope so. Thank you.
All right.
He has a rose-colored glasses view of his religion.
Yeah.
He might not like once the veil's removed what he sees.
Yeah.
Because he seems like sort of an innocent, maybe naive guy.
T, I'm trying to bring you up. T, are you there? Come up if you are a Muslim. If you guys are Muslim on TikTok, I'm trying to rise you up. Only request up if you are a Muslim. All right, let's try. Should only be requesting up if you're Muslim. John, are you a Muslim? John, you're on stage. Okay, he's not a Muslim. Yep, guys, only request up if you're Muslim. If you requested and you're not a Muslim, please just remove your request. It'll help me out greatly. I appreciate it. All right. Let's see. Hello, are you a Muslim? All right. Getting through these guys. They're requesting, but they're not Muslim for some reason. So I've arrived. Are you a Muslim? You're on stage loading up. Hello, are you a Muslim? All right. Your background kind of loud a bit, but Vocab, can you hear him?
No.
You can't hear him? Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. Let me just do this real quick. Yeah, that'll be much easier. Thank you. Just 1 second while I. Okay. How about now, Vocab? Can you hear him now?
How are you gentlemen doing today? By the way, I saw you guys at
Can you hear him now?
Oh yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Yep.
How's it going?
All right. Going good. What's going on?
Hey, nothing much. I saw your that you were live, and I just watched you guys' recent 1v8 or 1v10 with Sheikh Uthman.
Yeah, what'd you think of it?
Interesting.
What's your big takeaway?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, what's your main takeaway from the debate?
Hello.
You're not able to hear me?
No, it went out for a second.
Okay, so what's your review of the debate?
I guess I would say that a lot of what Uthman was presenting in terms of the prompt was that Muhammad's name was mentioned in the Bible. But I guess today, since you guys have this prompt here, I guess I would come from a different lens to prove that.
Oh, you would agree that Muhammad's name is mentioned in the Bible?
Yeah, I agreed with his prompt, but I have another way of proving that Muhammad is the one actually mentioned in the Bible. Not necessarily his name, but
Well, Gotcha. Well, I'm okay to hear it, but that was his prompt. So his original prompt was that Muhammad is basically predicted or described or mentioned in the Bible, but then he changed it when we got there to Muhammad's name. Do you agree with his video where he says that John 1:19 refers to Muhammad?
His video, I haven't reviewed that video.
Would you agree that John 1:19 is about Muhammad, where they say, "Who are you?" to John the Baptist, and they ask him if he's the prophet?
Oh, when they're asking him, yeah, I remember that. I would say that.
You think that's right?
Yeah, the fact that, I would say the fact that I wouldn't say necessarily that they thought it to be Muhammad because they didn't know who this coming prophet would have been, but it does distinguish the Messiah from another prophet to come. Yes.
Gotcha. Do you know who John the Baptist's father was?
I don't remember. Can you remind me?
Well, here's the most important thing about his father. He was a Levite.
Okay.
Do you think that's relevant to this question and this topic?
The Levites? I don't see how that correlates. I'm not understanding.
Who are the Levites? In the sense of who do they descend from?
Well, that's debatable. Some sources say that they were a man-made a hierarchy of individuals that kept the laws,
right?
Versus there was a separate group, like for example, the Gnostics record the Essenes who were the ones who were directly tied to the prophets and their lineage. So it's debatable depending on who you ask.
The Levites are descendants of Aaron. So the father, Zacharias, he does priestly work. He's a Levite, right? So Levites are one of the 12 tribes of Israel. Why does that matter? They're asking someone who's part of the 12 tribes of Israel if he's the prophet, aren't they?
I wouldn't say so necessarily, because
John the Baptist's father is a Levite. So they're asking someone who's a descendant of one of the 12 tribes of Israel if he's the prophet. What do you mean?
Right, but their criteria in John 1:19 wasn't based on a direct lineage from John the Baptist and backwards to his ascendants.
No, but it's based upon the fact that he's part of the house of Israel.
Right, which is why I said that the Messiah is that they're mentioning versus the prophet that they're mentioning. It's clear that they're distinguishing the two.
But they're asking him, but hold on. You're missing it. You're missing the fact that they're asking John the Baptist, who's a Levite, which means he's a Hebrew. They're asking John the Baptist if he's the prophet, right? Meaning they hypothetically thought John the Baptist could have been the prophet, right?
Right, but they also asked him if he was the Messiah.
Right. So if John the Baptist could have potentially been the prophet, that means they thought the prophet would have been someone who was part of the house of Israel. Was Muhammad part of the house of Israel?
No, but I would say that you're correlating what they're saying about the prophet versus the Messiah, that they're expecting John. They're asking John if he's one of those two. I would say that it's wrong to assert that we have to assume that they're talking about John's lineage to the Levites. That's an assumption.
No, you're not. You're not understanding. They're not making any assumptions about his lineage. It's not prophesied the Messiah would be a Levite. My point by bringing that element out is the fact that he's part of the house of Israel. They understand properly in this instance that whoever the prophet is must be of the house of Israel. They're asking John the Baptist. They're not asking an Arab man this.
So you're saying John 1:19, the people asking John about who he is has to align with the Levites? Is that what you're saying?
No, see, you're missing. See, now I almost wish I wouldn't have mentioned Levite because you're getting caught up in that. You're missing the significance of what a Levite is. A Levite is one of the 12 tribes of Israel.
I understand.
Well, okay. The 12 tribes of Israel compose the house of Israel. Those are the Hebrews. Right? John the Baptist would qualify under that rendering because of his Israelite lineage. He would be part of the house of Israel. So They're asking him if he could be the prophet because hypothetically they think he could be, because they know the prophet has to be of the house of Israel, because he has to come from among Israel, as Deuteronomy 18 predicts about the prophet. So it can't be Muhammad as a potential fulfillment. It absolutely cannot be, because he's not part of the house of Israel.
Wait, which part of Deuteronomy 18 says that it has to be from the house of Israel, specifically?
From among your brothers. He says he'll be a prophet like me. And by the way, Moses himself is a Levite. Moses himself is a Levite, but that's not the main issue, because the Bible never specifies the Messiah's lineage or the prophet's lineage in the sense of what tribe they'll come of. Well, when it comes to Messiah, it does. It's Judah. But as far as what the prophet's designation, it doesn't say. But they're asking John the Baptist. So Muhammad does not come from the house of Israel, so he wouldn't qualify to be the prophet.
Well, that's under the assumption that Deuteronomy 18 is talking about the house of Israel, because it doesn't say that.
Well, but no, it's under the assumption that when they're asking him in John, they understand it has to be a fellow Israelite.
No, they are assuming that it has to be a fellow Israelite. Hence why, if you continue reading,
right. So those Jews asking are assuming it has to be a fellow Israelite, aren't they?
Well, I'm sorry, say that one more time. You broke up.
The Jews asking John assume it does have to be a fellow Israelite, right?
The Jews asking, yes, but their assumption is wrong, because John gives them the
There
answers.
we go. I
No.
got you. You just said their assumption
No,
is wrong.
you're-
No. This is the classic Muslim conundrum here. If you're going to say their assumption is wrong there, then you can't say their assumption is right, that the Messiah and the prophet are two different figures. Because the Messiah and the prophet are revealed to be the same person in the book of Acts. But you want to say it's correct that they're assuming that the Messiah and the prophet have to be two different people. But then when it comes to the lineage, you say their assumption is incorrect. You affirm the wrong assumption that they had, because it's exactly backwards. Their assumption that he has to be a fellow Israelite is correct. The assumption that the prophet and the Messiah are two different ones is incorrect. And the reason we know that is because the New Testament itself tells us twice in Acts that the fulfillment of Deuteronomy 18 is Jesus himself. This is the classic Muslim conundrum that you just stumbled into. Do you see how it's arbitrary for you to rely on the assumption for one, but not on the other? So I'm not relying on the assumption because I have the confirmation in the 1st century. I'm not relying on 7th century interpretation. Do you see the problem that's been revealed in your methodology there?
Okay, I see why you would assume that there's a problem there. But
Wait, why are you saying assume it? Why is it assume it's true?
Well, allow me to clarify, right? Because you jumped to Deuteronomy and Acts, and I want to address those two, right? Because if we read Acts chapter 3, verse 20, it says that the heavens must hold Jesus in order for this prophet to come, which is a direct reference to Deuteronomy 18. So if we go to Deuteronomy 18,
wait, can we read Acts 3? I like that you went to Acts 3. I think that was a perfectly legitimate thing you did. That was a great thing. But I don't know why you only want to look at verse 20. Where does it say what does verse 21 and verse 22 say?
Let me go ahead and turn to Acts. Maybe
I'll read Acts 3:22, and then you can turn there and you tell me if I got it right or wrong. Acts 3:22 says this: "For Moses truly said to the fathers, the Lord your God will raise up for you a prophet like me from your brethren. Him you shall hear in all things, whatever he says to you. And it shall be that every soul who will not hear that prophet shall be utterly destroyed from among the people. Yes, and all the prophets from Samuel and those who follow, as many have spoken, have also foretold these days. You are sons of the prophets and of the covenant which God made with our fathers, saying to Abraham, and in your seed all the families of the earth shall be blessed. To you his first God, having raised up his servant Jesus, send him to bless you in turning away every one of you from your iniquities." So who is the one being described there in Acts chapter 3? Who's the prophet there?
So, like I was saying, when he mentions Jesus Christ and does so with the reference to Deuteronomy, that's the focus. We're not trying to get how he's trying to ascertain information to certify Jesus in Acts. That's fine. That we get that. That's the Christian view. What I'm saying specifically.
Hold on. But you're missing. Notice I didn't even actually say the Christian view. I just want to point out something real quick. I said the 1st century view, meaning
We have a first century interpretation and understanding of this immediately after the events happened.
Okay, I can hear you.
Help me understand this. Why should a Christian abandon the early first century interpretation and go to a later interpretation? Why should we abandon it?
Background, I can't hear.
Okay.
That's not on my phone. That's not on my end.
They're not on my end either. I'm wondering where it's coming from.
But why should we
yeah,
abandon
one
the
more
first
time.
century?
Sorry.
Why should we abandon the first century understanding? Help me understand why I should abandon the first century understanding of who the prophet is.
Okay. So give me a second here, because I feel like every time I try to present a response to my claims, we jump to other questions and that you're asking me. So if I can just, if you just bear with me, because you're layering up questions and I'm having a hard time keeping.
I can't hear you, Christina.
I'm
You're
never
muted.
Okay, so I haven't said anything about the first
Oh, there
century.
you are. I was like, I can't see you.
I'm so sorry. Can you hear that, brother? Where that's coming from?
I can hear it, but I don't know where it's coming from because I'm not in control of the controls. It's not on my end. There's no one with me. Yeah, someone just said I can hear Christina, but I don't know who it is. I don't know what that is.
Someone said Christina. It might be coming from Lady Logic.
Maybe you're talking.
Maybe you're right. I don't know. It's not on my end though.
I'll try to get through it. It's a little loud and distracting. I'll try to get through it.
Let me see if I can take care of it.
Oh no, we couldn't hear you the whole. I thought that was intentional. I thought you were talking to Avery.
So you can have it either like
this, yeah,
or you can have it like this.
I like it like that. I mean, not like this, like the other one.
Okay, so I'll attempt to respond. What I'm saying is, you keep presenting new questions based on pretenses that you brought up. So you brought up Acts in reference to Deuteronomy, and I brought up, I responded with Acts to go back to Deuteronomy so that I could show you that Deuteronomy 18 is not talking about Israel. Deuteronomy 18 is actually talking about those who are outside, the one outside of Israel. Because Israel in Deuteronomy 18 told God they did not want a prophet.
Can you guys hear me properly?
I can hear you.
Is it clear?
He's gonna join us from his office.
Mr. Malone, were you able to hear me?
Is my
Yeah,
audio
some of
clear?
it, but
I'm just using my AirPods. Okay, just let me know.
it looks like there's some other microphone live.
You too, girl.
Oh yeah, I don't know what's going on. 'Cause
You too.
Logic is.
This is gonna be so fun.
No, thank you for having us.
I was
Thank you
thinking
for
that we
It's
were
strange.
probably like
Yo, man, there's a live mic in your house, bro.
watching.
Yeah.
Real life. Fun watching it.
There's a live mic in your house. At least I assume that's where it's coming from. You got to kill some mic, and you're muted. You're muted, but something wasn't muted. There was something live.
Video later, but this is the one that we were discussing.
Now you're playing a video.
Yeah, something's going on in the back.
So you can hear me. You guys can hear me.
I can hear you, but I can hear like something
You was
from
able to
another
hear
source.
the live, yeah. That's weird. What the? That's I don't understand. If I was muted, okay, but okay.
Hey, man, I gotta get ready for church here.
No, yeah, that's done. You held it down enough. Thank you so much. man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Hey, I've arrived. I'll be live again. Friday.
Okay, so originally I had
Friday,
said
okay?
that
Hold on,
I would
Sorry.
show a different.
I've arrived.
Yes.
Sorry, so we got to get going. We got to transfer over to another live. And so
All good.
Yeah, I'll be live again Friday. So if you got time, Friday same time, just come on through, okay?
All good. Salam alaikum. Appreciate you.
Wa alaikum salam, bro. You take care. All right. Looks like Vocab lost connection again, but that's all good. Guys, we're about to transfer over to Lady Logic's live. Sorry about that stuff that I was helping her out on her live stream. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. That's really crazy. Might have to try to edit that out or something. But yeah, appreciate you guys. I'm sorry I didn't actually get to all the super chats here, but we're about to go over and transfer over to Lady Logic's live right now. Thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you for praying for the family. Thank you so much, Vocab, for coming through. Make sure you guys subscribe to Vocab's, I guess, new channel. I guess we got to link the new channel. But yeah, subscribe to him. He did an amazing job. And we're going to have the other contestants here as well. Going to do some reviews with them. get their perspectives and and all of that good stuff. Okay, so with that being said, I love you all, and I'll see you guys over on the other live. We're gonna join Lady Logic because she thinks that she's a content creator now and knows what she's doing. So let's see what she's talking about. All right, peace, love y'all. Oops, let's actually get that off.
We just read. We just read. We just read.